Hola, hola, hola. Probando, probando. A ver si se espabila. Ya entiende que estamos... Eso, gracias. Probando, probando, probando. Probando, probando, probando. Muy bien. Lo que se me escucha normal. Todo está bien. Abremos el juego. Gente, bienvenidos en esta noche. Abremos el juego. Gente, bienvenidos. Un momento que me está escuchando doble, permiso. Vamos a darle de nuevo a Mass Effect, pero esta vez Mass Effect 2. Lo dejamos donde habíamos quedado, nos terminamos el 1. El 2 debería de ser la continuación. Avísenme si se escucha bien y todo. Y vamos a empezar por aquí. Si no recuerdo mal, se puede exportar tu viejo personaje, entonces el que teníamos en la otra, para seguir las liadas que hicimos, ¿no? Entonces vamos a ello. Y está. Importar, aquí está nuestro héroe, que la va a cagar aquí también. Importar. Avísenme si se escucha bien o si se escucha mal, que me interesa. Guardados, sí, vale. Ah, aquí nos dice todo. Ok. Soldado. Camino de la virtud. Somos virtud a tope. La hija de puta que nos mató nuestro amigo. Que descanse en paz. Sí, ella que se muera. Ha salvado el consejo porque somos así de buenos. Perfecto. Dirá que seguimos. Voy a hacer una probadita rápida a ver si se me está escuchando bien todo. Dirá que seguimos. Voy a hacer una probadita rápida a ver si se me está escuchando bien todo. Que seguimos. Voy a hacer una probadita. Voy a dejar un momento el streaming abierto. Voy a dejar un momento el streaming abierto. Por lo menos hasta que hablen para darme cuenta si me estáis escuchando. Porque si no, por lo menos hasta que hablen para darme cuenta si me estáis escuchando. Si no, por lo menos hasta que hablen.
Shepard did everything right. Shepard did everything.
Perfecto.
Uncovered the truth.
And still it's not enough.
We're at war. No one wants
Ven,
to
cigarrito
admit
más
it, but
falso, ¿no?
humanity is under attack.
But they're sending him to fight Geth. Geth. We both know they're not the real threat.
Bueno.
The Reapers are still out there.
And it's up to us to stop them.
Se ve como mejor, pero peor, ¿no?
The Council
parece a
will
mí.
never trust Cerberus. They'll never accept our help, even after everything humanity has accomplished. But Shepard, they'll follow
Por
him.
supuesto.
He's a hero, a bloody icon.
Correcto.
But
¿Ves?
he's just
Ojos
one
blancos
man.
raros
If we
ahí.
lose Shepard, humanity might well follow.
Qué raro, ¿no?
Then see to it that we don't lose him.
Va raro el juego, ah. Vale. Aquí se ve que tiene su edad el jueguito, ¿no? No pasa nada. Voy a lo mejor a levantar un poquito el volumen, porque... A ver, tal vez así, para que se escuche un poco mejor, tal vez un poco menos yo. Y sí. A ver qué onda. Nuestra navecita especial. Nuestra nave pro. A ver. Andaremos por ahí, a huevo, ¿no?
Disengaging FTL drives. Emission sinks active.
Obviamente, gente, después de este seguirá el
Board is
3.
green. We are running
Y
silent.
después vendrán otros juegos. Pero disfrutemos este.
We're
Ha sido
wasting our
que,
time. 4 days searching up and down this sector, and we haven't found any sign of Geth activity.
A ver si nos divierte como el
3
primero.
ships went missing here in the past month.
Está nuestro amigo
Something happened to
payaso.
them.
My money's on slavers. The Terminus system is crawling with them.
Picking up something on the long-range scanner.
Cuidado.
Unidentified vessel. Looks like a cruiser.
Doesn't match any known signatures.
Cuidado.
Cruiser is changing course. Now on intercept trajectory.
La busca.
Can't be. Stealth systems are engaged. There's no way a Geth ship could possibly...
It's not the Geth. Brace for evasive maneuvers.
Cuidado. ¿No vieron?
Elevator's down. Multiple hull breaches. Weapons offline. Somebody get that fire out.
Creo que nos reventaron, pero bien reventaron. Esos son nosotros. No pongo el caso.
Distress beacon is ready for launch. Will the Alliance get here in time?
Más les vale o estarán aquí. Bueno, somos virtud, ¿no? Confiantes.
The Alliance won't abandon us. We just need to hold on. Get everyone onto the escape shuttle. Joker's still in the cockpit. He won't abandon ship. I'm not leaving either. Get to the damn shuttle. I'll haul Joker's crippled ass out of here. Commander!
Cállate, que te soque.
Get the hell out of here.
Un momento de estrés, hay que ser educado, ¿no? Está liando el justo.
Everybody in! Go! Go! Go!
Adiós. Ya estamos jugando nosotros, ¿eh? Necesito un momento para ver que se escuche audio. Esto sí anda bien todo se demora bien. Bueno, se está yendo toda la mierda. Hay que buscar al otro pendejo.
Mayday! 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 This is SSV Normandy!
Tiene que hacerse el gracioso.
We've suffered heavy damage from an unknown enemy.
Baby, hold together. Hold together. Cabrón. Bueno, no hay nave ya. Perfecto. Chavalo, tienes que andar mínimo tu más. Que tiene como un portal para tener oxígeno. ¿Qué pasa? Porque aquí estamos en el espacio. O sea que él... ¿Cómo está respirando? Pero veo como una pantalla rara ahí. Supongo que por eso él sí pueda vivir. Hablar. ¿Cómo? Uy. F, E, V, C, G. Bueno. Aquí es donde nada nos vamos a echar las risas porque no me acuerdo los controles. No. Teclas. Asignaciones. Esa es. Caminar. Usar, cubrirse, sprintar, barra espaciadora. ¿Qué cojones? Toma. Sí. Tú. Esto. Ya. Pues eso era. ¿Será que no estoy seguro?
Come on, Joker. We have to get out of here.
No desperdicies tu vida.
The Normandy's lost. Going down with the ship won't change that.
Yeah, okay. Help me up. They're coming around for another attack.
Asegurarse, ¿no? ¿A qué estás pegado? A nada. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? Me ahogo. Me muero. Final de Mass Effect 2, ¿te imaginas? Y así acaba, gente. Shepard murió. Fue un horrible accidente. Sin saber qué pasó. Listo. A ver qué onda. Resume los eventos. ¿Quieres dar un repaso a la historia? Démoselo. ¿Por qué no? ¿Qué es esto?
Just another routine mission. Why do they always say that before a mission? Of course it's routine. You haven't done anything yet. It's everything that happens along the way. The choices you make, the paths you choose, that turn the routine into anything but. Of course, that's how it started. A routine mission, answering a distress call. And look where that got me. We were testing out the Normandy, Captain Anderson's new ship, when the distress call came in. An Alliance patrol on Eden Prime had been attacked. They'd seen something they couldn't explain. And whatever it was massive. I hit the ground with my lieutenant, Caden Olenko. A good kid, loyal, by the book, with a talent for biotics. We came across the lone survivor of the patrol, Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams. A soldier to the core. Tough, disciplined, ready to take on whatever came her way. Ashley joined up with us and took us to the spot where she lost her squad. That's when we saw it.
Me callo
The
para
ship.
que lo apreciemos todo.
Like nothing I'd ever seen. It was massive, scorching the colony and everything around it as it blasted away.
Así hacemos
We
memoria
followed
de
the
lo-
path of destruction to an artifact, a beacon left by a long-dead race called the Protheans. The colony had dug it up, and whoever attacked them had tried to take it. Chief Williams made the mistake of getting too close. It hit her with some type of energy. I grabbed her and threw her out of the way. That's when it hit me. Hard. Every muscle in my body went rigid. I couldn't move, could barely breathe. Everything went black. And then I saw something. A vision. A dream. A nightmare. By the time I woke up, we were halfway to the Citadel on our way to meet the Council. I was expected to explain what I'd seen. Anderson came along. So did Adina, our political representative on the Citadel. With those two heavyweights, it seemed reasonable we could persuade the Council that the ship we'd seen was a potential threat, as was the individual behind the attacks. The main suspect for the Eden Prime massacre was a Turian Spectre named Saren. He'd been seen by one of the survivors from the colony at Eden Prime, and there was some evidence to suggest that the ship was connected to Saren. But even Adina's pointed accusations weren't enough to convince the Council. They just couldn't believe one of their chosen elite Spectres could be guilty of something like that. They needed proof, which meant I needed proof. Fortunately, I wasn't alone in my search. Garrus, another Turian, wanted to help. A top agent for Citadel Security. Despite orders from his superiors that he shouldn't get involved, he told me he was suspicious of Saren, and he had some useful leads. More importantly, he was willing to share them. That led me to Rex, the biggest, nastiest-looking Krogan bounty hunter I'd ever seen.
Descansa
He
en
turned
paz,
out to be more than just a
príncipe.
brute. It was his intel that led to a fugitive with incriminating evidence on Saren. The fugitive turned out to be an energetic little Quarian named Tally. A tech expert with a knack for hacking, she'd procured some information on Saren. Evidence that proved Saren was dirty. Tally's evidence proved that Saren was responsible for the massacre on Eden Prime, and that the immense warship we'd spotted was in fact Saren's flagship. But it went much further. Saren was trying to find a way to bring back a race of sentient machines from dark space. Machines allegedly responsible for cleansing the galaxy of all organic life. These Reapers were blamed for wiping out all life 50,000 years ago, including the Protheans, then disappearing back through the mass relays to dark space, leaving no trace they'd ever been. That explained why Saren was after the beacon, and it made some sense out of my visions. but not much else. We couldn't convince the Council that the Reapers were a threat, but they agreed Saren had to be stopped. They stripped him of his Spectre status and gave me the honor of becoming the first human Spectre. My first task? Bring down Saren. Anderson decided to stay behind, giving up his ship, the Normandy. He told me I would need it more than he would. He also pointed me in a direction. Liara, a Prothean expert, adept in biotics, and maybe most importantly, daughter of Benezia, Saren's top lieutenant. And like most Asari, as beautiful as she is intelligent, and born with a unique ability to meld with other species. Liara was able to help me decipher some of the vision the beacon had given me. Nothing concrete, but it gave me some clues. And a new appreciation for the Asari. Her technique for accessing my vision was unexpected, but not at all unpleasant. Ashley was a little concerned about the connection I shared with Liara. As commander, I knew either relationship had the potential to interfere with the mission. I decided discretion was the better part of valor, and kept my focus on our goal, finding Saren. Thanks to Liara's help, we had our next lead, Benezia. Saren had taken her to Novaria, where he'd enslaved a dangerous race of insect-like creatures, the Rachni. He ordered Benezia to use the same technique Liara had used on me to extract information from the Rachni Queen. The Queen's drones were everywhere, and they weren't happy. We had to fight through hundreds of them to get to Benezia. By the time we arrived, Saren was gone, with the information. I tried to reason with Benezia, but Saren had indoctrinated her. He had somehow acquired the ability to control people's actions and wills. Benezia wouldn't surrender, and Liara was forced to watch her mother die in her arms. And I was left with an angry, dangerous Rachni Queen to deal with. She claimed her drones would do no harm if I released her. But the Rachni had terrorized the galaxy before. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't doom an entire species for past sins. And the Queen was true to her word. She left and took her army of drones with her. With Saren's top lieutenant dead, he was quickly running out of time and places to hide. I tracked him down at his base on Vermeer, but we soon learned it was more than a base of operations. It was a breeding ground. Saren was breeding an army of Krogan. He'd found a cure for the genophage, a disease inflicted on the Krogan to prevent them from breeding and taking over the galaxy. But the Krogan Saren was breeding were slaves, mindless beasts that obeyed Saren's will. I had to destroy the base, and all its research. Rex disagreed. Violently. Rex wanted the genophage cure for his people. I tried to convince him to help me destroy it, that these Krogan weren't real. But he wouldn't back down. He just couldn't be reasoned with, and I couldn't let the base be saved, even if it meant curing the Krogan. Saren had to be stopped. When we finally got to the center of the base, I realized just how close Saren was to completing his plan. He was already in communication with the Reapers. Sovereign, Saren's flagship we'd all assumed was just a ship, was a Reaper. It spoke to me, threatened me. I could feel the menace it had for every living thing. It wanted me dead. It wanted us all dead. And I knew it was capable of doing just that. What I couldn't understand was why Saren would help it. But there was no time to think about it. Sovereign knew where we were. We had to destroy the base and get the hell out. I split up my team in 2 squads, sending Ash with one and Caden with the other as a distraction. We had a nuke, and we planned to use it. Before we could detonate the bomb, Saren showed up. We fought. I stalled him to make time for my team. And in talking to him, I realized the truth. It wasn't Saren who was indoctrinating everyone. It was Sovereign. The Reaper. And Saren was in deeper than all of them. He tried to convince me he was still in control. Said he found a way to reduce the Reaper's influence, but he was kidding himself. Or believing the lies Sovereign was telling him. Before I could convince him to stop, he ran, leaving me just seconds to extract my squad mates. I tried, but I wasn't fast enough. I could only save one of them. Ash was a good friend, and a great soldier. But I had to choose, and I chose Caden. That was the last time Saren would slip away from me. I knew then, the next time we met, one of us would die. With my team mostly intact, We chased Saren and his army to Ilos, a long-lost planet that had once belonged to the Protheans. As we prepared for what we knew would be a desperate fight, I spoke to my crew. We were just one ship, against Saren's growing army. I assured them all that despite the odds, we could defeat him. I'd never tell anyone, but I had my doubts. Leaving Ashley behind had hardened my resolve, but revealed a soft spot in my defenses. How many more friends and allies would I be willing to sacrifice in order to stop Saren? We arrived on Ilos, close behind Saren. Once on the planet, we discovered a Prothean databank that helped me put the final pieces of my vision together. The Reapers had come 50,000 years ago, and every 50,000 years before that, each time purging the galaxy of life. The Protheans had fought and died, like every species before them. But a few survived long enough to leave a parting gift. The Protheans had discovered that the Citadel was the key to controlling the mass relays. By sabotaging the Citadel, they found a way to close the relays to dark space, slowing the Reapers' return, giving us the time we needed to find a solution to stop the Reapers once and for all. Saren knew this. He was leading his army to take control of the Citadel and re-establish the relays to dark space, bringing the waiting Reapers here to destroy us all. We followed him to the Citadel. It was intact, but heavily damaged. He had caught the Council fleets by surprise, and they were only now regrouping. And with Sovereign as his flagship, there was little hope the fleets could counterattack with enough strength to take back the Citadel. But Saren was done running, and I was done chasing him. As the Alliance and Citadel fleets battled Saren's army outside, I cornered the Turian bastard in the Citadel tower and confronted him. He died believing that the Reapers would save him. As I fought to regain control of the Citadel, the Council's flagship, the Destiny Ascension, fell under attack. Despite Saren's death, Sovereign and Saren's army continued to fight. The Council was aboard the Destiny Ascension, and they were requesting assistance. But I knew in order to help them, I would have to put our Human Alliance fleet in jeopardy. The Council had to be saved. They represented the hearts and minds of the galactic community. Without them, the fleets would be in disarray. Even with the Citadel back in my control, Saren defeated, and the Normandy leading the combined galactic fleet, the battle against Sovereign, a single Reaper, was relentless. It took the combined fleets of humanity and the other races, but in the end, Sovereign fell. But the costs were immense. While humanity's efforts in the war earned us our first seat on the Council, it was a hollow victory. The Reapers were still out there. I knew the fight was far from over, but as the one who'd led the fight against Saren, I was given new responsibilities. The choice of humanity's first counselor was left for me to decide. On the one hand, Udina, the lifetime politician. Ruthless and ambitious, he would easily navigate the political landmines that would soon be put in front of him. The other choice, Captain Anderson, the career soldier. Tough but fair, but a friend, and someone I could trust. Both great leaders in their own right. Anderson didn't want the job, which was a sure sign he'd be perfect for it. No ambition to get in the way. The war was over. The threat had passed. In time, the Council would rebuild itself. The Citadel could be repaired. Even the pain of lost friends would fade. But none of that mattered if the Reapers were still out there. And if they were all as powerful as Sovereign, we had to find a way to stop them. I had to find a way.
Eso.
I gathered my crew, took my ship, and went in search of answers. Officially, the Council would only say I was assigned to cleanup duty, rooting out any remnants of Saren's army. Just another routine mission.
Claro. A ver en qué se lía esta, ¿no? Oh, guapo el... Está guapo también que se adapte a tus elecciones el cómic que hacen, ¿no? Porque todos mataron X personas y me gusta que lo hayan
Commander
hecho,
Shepard has been recovered.
que lo hayan hecho
The
pensando
Lazarus
en
Project will proceed as planned.
Voy a esto Lázaro porque me voy a levantar y caminar. Lázaro. Ese soy yo probablemente. Perdón. Aquí es donde me vuelvo Capitán América. Si es Capitán América, me vuelvo Wolverine. Mucha mierda, ¿eh? Soy yo, ¿cómo no? Claro que sí. Vamos a ser igual. Elige el procedimiento de la mejor clase, pero es que este estaba así, no sé, hemos hecho soldado. Ah, porque claro, lo puedo cambiar. Infiltrado. Los infiltrados cuentan con un sistema de camuflaje que les permite pasar a salir de otros instantes y le ponen una ventaja táctica sobre sus enemigos. Cuidado. Cuidado. Carga biótica, es increíble. Ingeniero. ¿Sabes qué? Nos vamos infiltrado. Bueno, espera. Los soldados son especialistas. Nadie es más duro. Entrenamiento más fácil, pero usan todos los tipos de acción especial. A ver aquí. Los infiltrados en combate y tecnología que tienen la capacidad de ocultarse a distancia y cuentan con una gran variedad de armas. A la mierda. Tus logros te dan acceso a los siguientes poderes. Elige uno. Munición perforante. Mejora de escudo. Barrera. Descarga neutral. Drenaje de energía. Munición trituradora. Pues mejora de escudo. Mejora de escudo. Reputación despiadado. Perfecto, ¿no? Nos están creando de nuevo. ¿Okay?
He's reacting to outside stimuli, showing an awareness of his surroundings. My God, Miranda, I think he's waking up.
Damn it, Wilson. He's not ready yet. Give him the sedative. Shepard, don't try to move. Just lie still. Try to stay calm.
Heart rate's still climbing. Brain activity is off the charts. Staff's pushing into the red zone. It's not working.
Another dose. Now.
Ségame, payaso.
Heart rate dropping. Staff's falling back into normal.
Gracias. Joder.
Too close. We almost lost him.
I told you your estimates were off. Run the numbers again.
Wake up, Commander. Shepard, do you hear me? Get out of that bed now. This facility is under attack.
Oh, yeah.
Shepard, your scars aren't healed, but I need you to get moving. This facility is under attack.
Estoy flipando, ¿eh?
There's a pistol in the locker on the other side of the room. Hurry! Grab the pistol and armor from the locker. You don't have time to wait around, Shepard. Grab your weapon and
This
armor.
pistol doesn't have a thermal clip.
It's a med bay. We'll get you a clip from... Damn it! Those canisters by the door are going to blow. Get behind cover now. Keep your head down, Shepard. Shield yourself from the blast. Someone's hacking security trying to kill you. Look for a thermal clip for your pistol.
¿Ya tengo?
Looks like they set up a barricade to try holding the mechs off. Look out! Keep moving, we need to get to the shuttles.
Espérate. Vale, pusieron cargador ahora. Ah. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? Ok, ahora ya jugándolo ya se ve que está mucho mejor el juego que el primero, ¿no? Un poco más didáctico, ya con munición. Se viene.
Shepard, security mechs are closing in on your... Nice work, Shepard. Coast is clear.
No, gracias a ti. Estás escondida. Tan alto no saltas. Los cargadores vienen de aquí, ¿no? Hay un riflecito así, un rico, sabrosón. Dámelo. Bien. Dámelo, ¿qué es? Usar un cargador. Descargador. ¡Ya, qué guapo!
Don't waste time. I can't keep the mechs distracted for long.
Los mechas.
More reinforcements head. Here come the mechs. Use the grenade launcher to take...
¿A dónde?
We've been spotted.
Take the elevator down one floor.
Madre mía.
Hurry! Get to the door! Run! You're doing fine, Shepard. Head to the next room and I'll try to meet you.
No estoy
Shepard,
mal.
you freed me. I've got mechs closing in
No
on my
tan bien,
position. Progress is slow, but subject shows signs of recovery.
Log update. The cost of this project is astronomical. Over 4 billion credits so far. But nobody seems to care that we've gone over budget. I don't know where the boss gets all his money. Maybe it's better not to know. I just wish he'd take a little more in my direction once in a while.
Bien guapo. Está mucho mejor el juego, Está guardado. Shepard. Ya matar,
Log update. I can't figure Miranda out. As project director, she should be ecstatic at all the progress we made. But she's still the same old ice queen. Maybe she's worried.
Creía
On target!
What are you doing here? Thought you were still a work in progress.
Just woke up. You probably know more than I do.
Right, sorry about that. I'm Jacob Taylor. I've been stationed here for—
Hostiles detected.
Damn it! Things must be worse than I thought if Miranda's got you running around. I'll fill you in, but we better get you to the shuttle first.
What's with the mechs?
Security. Usually they fight for us. Somebody must have hacked them. That should be impossible. We've got to get you out of here, Shepard.
It's your station, Jacob. I'll follow you.
First step, let's finish off these metal bastards. We're low on thermal clips, but I'm a biotic. Just give the order when you want me to hit them with the good stuff.
Okay.
Just give the order and I'll hit him with a biotic power.
Que dé la orden. Mantén sin asignar. Sin asignar, dice. No te mando. Disparar, apuntar, recargar, cuerpo a cuerpo, enfundar. Para él. entiendo, chaval. No entiendo muy bien, ¿eh? ¿Qué quieres exactamente? Mantén sin asignar. Mantén sin asignar.
Ready to get the hell off this station?
Before we go anywhere, I need some answers.
Sure. What do you want to know?
Todo.
You said they spent 2 years rebuilding me? How bad were my injuries?
I'm no doctor, but it was bad. When I first saw you, you were nothing but meat and tubes. Anywhere else, they'd have put you in a coffin. But Project Lazarus was different. Cutting-edge technology.
What do you mean? Cloning? Cybernetics?
I don't know the details. You'd have to ask the scientists. But I'm pretty sure you're not a clone. They wanted to bring you back exactly as you were. You're still you. You just might have a few extra bits and pieces now.
Claro.
The last thing I remember is the Normandy blowing up. Did anyone else make it?
Just about everybody survived. A few servicemen from the lower decks didn't get out. Navigator Presley was killed by an explosion. But everyone else, including the non-Alliance crew, the Asari, Liara, and the Quarian, they all made it out alive.
Sí. Si no me interesa. Miranda, Jacob.
What's your job here?
Depends on who you ask. I served 5 years in the Alliance. Usually a lot more dull than this. Normally I don't fire my gun unless it's target practice.
Miranda.
When I first woke up, someone named Miranda was talking to me over the radio. We lost contact just before I ran into you.
Miranda Lawson is the station's ranking officer. She led the Lazarus team. It was her job to bring you back to life, no matter what. Should have guessed she'd try to save you. She's not about to give up on you now. You said you lost contact. Could you tell what was happening?
There was some gunfire and an explosion right before I lost her.
She knows how to take care of herself. But I hope she's okay.
Ojalá. Bueno, seguimos hablando de la gente se está muriendo, pero nosotros.
Do you know anything about this attack?
Hablemos de lo que pasa.
Who's behind it? What they're after?
Damned if I know. I was getting ready for some shut-eye, then bam! Bunch of explosions. Next thing I know, every damn mech in the place starts shooting at us. I'm guessing it had to be an inside job. You'd need top security access to hack all the mechs.
Hostia. Tripulación, ataca la estación, heridas, atrasa la...
What's the quickest way to those shuttles?
Depends where the mechs are thickest. It's probably best if we...
Check. Anyone on this frequency? Anybody still alive out there? Hello?
Está, bro.
Wilson, this is Jacob. I'm here with Commander Shepard. Just took out a wave of mechs over in D-Wing.
Shepard's alive? How the hell? Never mind. You need to get him out of there. Get to the service tunnels and head for the network control room.
Roger that, Wilson. Stay on this frequency.
I think I remember a Wilson checking on me one time when I woke up.
That's him. He's the chief medical tech. Answers directly to Miranda. Come on. The service tunnels are this way.
Vámonos. Está liando pardísima, ¿no? Sí. Tengo un lanzagranadas que supongo que lo vamos a usar.
Up front! Damn it, Wilson.
The whole station is crawling with mechs. I'm doing the best I can.
Wilson, find us another route out of here. Preferably one that doesn't lead straight into an enemy squad.
Just keep moving toward the control room.
Vale, ocupa munición, hombre.
Wilson, where are you?
Server room B! Hurry! They're out of control!
Up those stairs, Shepard.
Oh, God! I'm hit! They shot me!
Ahora ten silencio. Estamos ocupados, intentando entender lo que pasa.
Shepard, down here!
Down here. ¿Quién eres? ¿Wilson?
Bastards got me in the leg!
Me acuerdo de ti, Wilson.
You were there the first time I regained consciousness.
Yeah, that was me. How about we talk about this after we fix my leg?
No.
Should be some Metagel in the first aid station on the wall. Hopefully there's enough to get him up and moving again.
Grab the Metagel from the first aid station on the wall.
Menú de órdenes. ¿Y qué hacemos? Ah, ok.
Thanks, Shepard. Never thought you'd save my life. Guess that makes us even now. I thought maybe I could shut down the security mechs, but whoever did this fried the whole system. Completely irreversible.
We didn't ask what you were doing. Why do you even have security mech clearance? You were in
Weren't you listening? I came here to try and fix this. Besides, I was shot. How do you explain that?
You're all strangers to me. Let's get someplace safe, then we'll sort out whose fault it is.
Right, Shepard. We need to find Miranda.
Forget about Miranda. She was over in D-Wing. The mechs were all over that sector. There's no way she survived.
A bunch of mechs won't drop Miranda. She's alive.
Then where is she? Why haven't we heard from her? There are only two possible explanations. She's either dead, or she's a traitor.
Then why did you wake me up and warn me about the attack?
Okay, maybe she's not a traitor.
Payaso.
But that doesn't change the facts. We're here, she's not. We need to save ourselves. The shuttle bay is only a few...
Shit.
We can overload the canisters to
Mechs don't know when to quit.
That's it. Let's get out of here.
Okay, we took him down. But this is getting tense. Shepard, if I tell you who we work for, will you trust me?
This really isn't the time, Jacob.
We won't make it if he's expecting a shot in the back.
If you want to piss off the boss, it's your ass, Jacob.
The Lazarus Project. The program that rebuilt you. It's funded and controlled by Cerberus.
No he oído hablar de ellos. No he oído. Ellos no me suenan.
I wiped out my share of Cerberus projects when I was a Spectre. Back then they were trying to kill me. Why the change of heart?
Those answers are way above my pay grade. But basically, things change. The Alliance declared you dead. They gave up. Cerberus spent a fortune to bring you back. Look, I'd be suspicious too. But right now we have to work together. I thought you deserved to know what's what. Once we're off the station, I'll take you to the elusive man. He'll explain everything. I promise.
Elusive man? Is he in charge of all this?
Yeah. That's not his real name, of course. Nobody knows who he really is.
It was a code name the Alliance used for him. Kinda stuck.
Well, if I won't get any more answers here, let's get moving.
It's not much farther to the shuttle bay.
Okay. ¿Me puedo tirar en plan tonto? Tranquilo, ¿qué pasó? A ver. ¿Qué sería? ¡Ey! Vamos, gente. Tiene que haber más. Por mis huevos, creo. Se levanta como poco a poco, ¿no? Arriba, que tengo que haber más aquí arriba, seguro.
Threat to initiated.
¿Qué pasa? Corre. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Pero qué? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó, macho?
Sensors activated.
Ok, hasta aquí bien, ¿no? Coge munición. Ya vemos que la aliada está arriba. Pero vamos a ver, o sea... ¿No la quieres? ¿Te cayó? Dale.
Test subject has been recovered, but the damage is far worse than we initially feared.
¿Qué es esto? Resalta con cada nodo para encontrar los símbolos coincidentes. Cuando encuentres dos símbolos coincidentes, se debe encontrar el circuito.
In addition to the expected burns and internal injuries from the explosion, subject has suffered significant cellular breakdowns from chem exposure to vacuum and sub-zero temperatures. Despite the extent of the physical trauma, Wilson assures the subject is salvageable. The Lazarus Project will proceed as planned.
¿Listo, no? Ah, plata, dinerito rico, sabroso. Yo siempre preferí un rifle. Fusil de asalto. Está bien. Cada uno consigue lo que puede.
Come on, through here. We're almost at the...
Vale.
Miranda, but you were...
Hostia.
Dead?
What the hell are you doing?
My job. Wilson betrayed us all.
I had a feeling Wilson was just looking for a chance to shoot me in the back.
Good instincts. Some people are far too trusting to ever see that coming. Come on, let's grab this shuttle and get out of here. My boss wants to speak to you.
You mean the elusive man? I know you work for Cerberus.
Ah, Jacob. I should have known your conscience would get the better of you.
Lying to the commander isn't the way to get him to join our cause.
Well, since we're getting everything out in the open, is there anything else you want to ask before we go, Commander?
Muy buena pregunta.
Convenient that you show up as we're leaving. Where were you during the attack?
Besides trying to save your life, Wilson figured out I was helping you and he sent an army of mechs to take me out. I got here as soon as I could. Probably a little too soon if you ask Wilson.
What about the rest of the people on the station?
This is the evac area. If they're not here now, they're not coming.
We can't leave without knowing for sure. We need to go back and look.
Don't you get it? The only one worth saving is you. Everyone else is expendable.
She's right. We all knew the risks when we signed up. Without you, there's no point to any of this.
Okay.
Where are we going?
Another Cerberus facility. The elusive man is waiting for you there.
I'm not sure I trust you.
This is the only shuttle off the station. You want to stay and rot with the mechs? Be my guest.
Wow.
You're the Lazarus Project's director, aren't you?
That's right. I put 2 years of my life into this project. Into you.
What does Cerberus want from me?
Maybe you should ask the elusive man when you meet him. He poured virtually unlimited resources into Lazarus. Obviously, he has some kind of plan for you.
I've had enough of this station to last a lifetime.
Or 2, in your case. Come on.
Bueno, técnicamente 2. Ok, ya veo que el juego está mejor diseñado en plan que es más importante usar tus compañeros y te revientan. Si te pones a disparar ya hay munición. Porque estoy...
Before you meet with the elusive man, we need to ask a few questions to evaluate your condition.
Come on, Miranda, more tests? Shepard took down those mechs without any trouble. That has to be good enough.
It's been 2 years since the attack. The elusive man needs to know that Shepard's personality and memories are intact. Ask the questions.
2 años.
Did you say 2 years? I've been gone that long?
2 years and 12 days. And you were on an operating table for most of it.
The sooner we start, the sooner we can be done. Start with personal history.
Okay. Records show you grew up on Earth. Tough environment, no parents. You enlisted and led troops during some heavy fighting, most notably on Torfin. Do you remember taking on some Batarian slavers?
Te aliaste y lideraste a las tropas durante combates difíciles, entre a los que destaca el de Torfan. ¿Recuerdas haberte enfrentado a unos esclavistas?
Those bastards were dug in deep in a fortified bunker. I sent a lot of good soldiers to their deaths. That's how it had to be.
You got the job done. That's all that matters. Satisfied, Miranda?
Almost. Let's try something more recent. Vermeer, where you destroyed Saren's cloning facility. You had to leave one of your squad behind to die in the blast.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams was killed in action. It was your call. Why did you leave her behind?
Fue una elección de no, era eso, morir.
Being in command means that sometimes you give orders knowing that your people are gonna die. That can't affect your decisions. Ash gave her life for the rest of the team. Without her, I couldn't have stopped Saren. She died a hero.
I understand, Commander, and I wasn't judging your decision. Everybody at Cerberus knows that cloning facility had to be destroyed.
There are other tests we really should run.
Come on, Miranda. Enough with the quizzes. The memories are there, and I can vouch for Shepard's combat skills personally.
I suppose you're right. We'll have to hope the elusive man accepts our little field test as evidence enough.
¿Para qué?
The elusive man is waiting for you.
I wouldn't keep the elusive man waiting.
The elusive man is waiting for you in the other room.
Cállate.
I wouldn't keep the elusive man waiting.
Yo sí. Joder.
The elusive man is waiting for you in the other room.
Bueno. Armadura. Esta. Pecho. Pecho. Eso. Bueno, campeón, vamos, sí. Ese es el del idiota aquel, pero me gustaba el mío, pero si estoy haciendo otra cosa. Más o menos. Hola. Será mi compañero, ¿no? El negrillo. O el de la... o el del consejo. ¿Quién será? Tiene que ser alguien que conozco.
Commander Shepard.
Elusive man. I thought we'd be meeting face to face.
A necessary precaution. Not unusual for people who know what you and I know.
¿Qué sabemos?
And what exactly is it that you and I know?
That our place in the universe is more fragile than we'd like to think. That one man, one very specific man, might be all that stands between humanity and the greatest threat of our brief existence.
The Reapers.
Good to see your memory's still intact. How are you feeling?
I noticed a few upgrades. I hope you didn't replace anything really important.
We tried to keep you as intact as possible. We need Shepard, just as you were when you defeated Sovereign.
What are the Reapers doing that made you decide to bring me back?
We're at war. No one wants to admit it, but humanity is under attack. While you've been sleeping, entire colonies have been disappearing. Human colonies. We believe it's someone working for the Reapers, just as Saren and the Geth aided Sovereign. You've seen it yourself. You bested all of them. That's just one reason we chose you.
Ayuda de la Alianza. ¿Por qué yo, Cerberus? Ayuda de la Alianza.
If this is a threat against humanity, you need to mobilize the Alliance.
They suffered substantial losses fighting Sovereign. They're rebuilding, still stretched too thin to waste resources verifying the Reaper threat. Blaming the abductions on mercs and pirates is easier and more convenient.
Sovereign was trying to harvest all life in the galaxy. Why would the Reapers target a few human colonies?
Hundreds of thousands of colonists have vanished. I'd say that fits the definition of harvesting. Nobody's paying attention because it's random, and the attacks occur in remote locations. I don't know why they've suddenly targeted humanity. Maybe you got their attention when you killed one of them.
Fighting a war doesn't seem like Cerberus. Why are you involved?
We're committed to the advancement and preservation of humanity. If the Reapers are targeting us, trying to wipe us out, Cerberus will stop them. If we wait for politicians or the Alliance to act, no more human colonies will be left.
Sovereign was trying to harvest
hundreds of... Nobody... I don't know why they've suddenly targeted humanity.
Fighting a war doesn't seem like Cerberus.
If we wait for politicians or the Alliance to act, no more human colonies will be left.
You could have trained an entire army for what you spent to bring me back.
You're unique. Not just in ability or what you've experienced, but in what you represent. You stood for humanity at a key moment. You're more than a soldier. You're a symbol. And I don't know if the Reapers understand fear, but you killed one. They have to respect that.
If you're after the Reapers, just point me in the right direction.
Miranda was worried you'd be resistant. She's not usually wrong. I have a shuttle ready to take you to Freedom's Progress, the latest colony to be abducted. Miranda and Jacob will brief you.
Is this a volunteer job, or am I being volunteered?
You always have a choice, Shepard. If you don't find the evidence we're both looking for, we can part ways. But first, go to Freedom's Progress. Find any clues you can. Who's abducting the colonies? Do they have any connection to the Reapers? I brought you back. It's up to you to do the rest.
Creí que me ibas a dar algo más, no terminé de preguntarle, maldito. Investiga sobre los colonos. Bien. No puedo hablar con él, obviamente. Supongo que ahora tendrán cosas.
The elusive man is very impressed with you. I'm eager to see if you can live up to his expectations on this mission.
I never got a chance to say how much I appreciated what the Lazarus Project did for me.
I just hope it was worth it. A lot of people lost their lives on that station.
For someone who spent 2 years putting me back together, you don't seem real fond of me.
I have the utmost respect for your abilities, Shepard. It's your motivations that concern me. I believe in what Cerberus stands for. Only time will tell if you prove to be an asset or a liability to our cause.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Worried about my qualifications? I can crush a mech with my biotics or shoot its head off at 100 yards. Take your pick.
Did you and Jacob serve together in the Alliance?
No. The elusive man recognized my potential and recruited me at a young age.
How old were you?
Old enough to know this is what I wanted.
I was trying to get to know you as a human being.
I'm not looking for a friend, Shepard. Stay focused on the mission.
No estoy buscando amigos tampoco, idiota, pero...
I'd like to know more about the Lazarus Project from the person in charge.
I wasn't in charge. The elusive man was. If I was running the show, would have done a few things differently.
What would you have changed?
To start, I would have implanted you with some type of control chip. But the elusive man wouldn't allow it. He was afraid it might affect your personality, alter your character somehow. He wouldn't let us do anything that might limit your potential in any way.
Can't say I like the idea of being brought back to life with a control chip in my brain.
The elusive man is taking an incredible risk with you. I just hope his gamble pays off.
What can you tell me about this colony we're going to?
Freedom's Progress? It's a typical human settlement in the Terminus systems. They had a small military force for protection supplemented by mechs and security drones. Average in almost every way, really. Completely unremarkable. Until the disappearance.
Any thoughts on what we might run into there?
A lot of empty buildings and one giant mystery.
It's obvious you're not interested in talking.
We've got an assignment. We can talk about it or we can do it.
No entiendo eso. Activa no sé qué y... Un poco y un poco. Pero ¿por qué un poco y un poco? ¿Tu compañero qué?
I'm glad the elusive man convinced you to join us, Commander.
I just want to find out what happened to those missing people. I still don't trust Cerberus.
Noted. Do you trust me, Commander?
You're a good man, Jacob. But you might be working for the wrong people.
Maybe. But I thought the same when I was with the Alliance. That's why I'm here now.
You said you served in the Alliance?
5 years in total. Stationed all over the galaxy. Even spent a couple of years as a Corsair.
I've never heard of the Corsairs.
It was an Alliance initiative. They hired independent starship captains and used them for missions that fell outside official Alliance jurisdiction. Technically, we weren't part of the Alliance. If we ever got caught, they could disavow any knowledge of us. We were supposed to be free from restrictions and rules. But there was still enough red tape to sink a cruiser. I finally just gave up.
Why did you join Cerberus?
I guess I just got tired of never making a difference. So much of what we did in the Alliance seemed pointless. I thought things would change after the attack on the Citadel. Humanity was finally invited to join the Council. Nothing changed. Politics, bureaucracy, same bullshit, different leaders. Cerberus is different. When colonies go missing, we don't commission a team to write a report to figure out what the hell to do about it. We just go and find out.
Tranquilito, Titán, tranquilito, eh?
Do you know anything about this colony we're going to?
It's called Freedom's Progress. Don't know much else. I guess we'll find out when we get there.
Supongo. Gracias por no ser de
That's all for now.
Yes, sir.
Eso subió. Ese que subió. Es que no entiendo. Supongo que. Misión completada.
We should be there shortly, Shepard. The elusive man put us under your command. Do you have any orders?
Cómeme los huevos. ¿Te parece?
Are you sure you'll be comfortable following my orders?
We didn't bring you back from the dead just to second guess you, Commander. If the elusive man says you're in charge, you're in charge.
What did you find at the other colonies?
Nothing. No signs of attack, no corpses, not even a trace of unusual genetic material to give us a clue. They just disappear. And we've got no target to go after.
What makes you think this investigation will turn up anything new?
At other colonies, official investigators got there first. Sometimes looters or salvage teams as well. We're hoping to be the first ones there this time. Maybe find clues before somebody else disturbs the scene.
Haced lo que sea necesario. Alguien podría estar.
Our first priority is to look for survivors.
That's unlikely, Commander. No one was left at the other colonies. They were completely deserted.
Be nice to find somebody. Anything's better than another ghost town.
Pues eso, manita. Ghost town. Se va a liarse. Lo siento, no. Cuando llego yo sería. Si no, no tendría esa arma, ¿eh? Acá. Ah, y tengo. Bueno. Apa. Habrá cositas. Ok, vamos aquí, no puedo ser. Ok, por huevos por aquí.
Looks like everyone just got up and left right in the middle of dinner.
Parece, sí. No tengo nada.
Strange. No bodies, no structural damage, and no signs of battle.
Chatarra recuperado. Como siempre, vale la pena darse una vueltita extra. El juego ya sabe, para que no te pierdas como un idiota como la otra vez. Porque en el primero nos perdimos. Claro, pues a ver qué pasa.
Strange. Security systems were disabled at the other colonies.
System failing.
Tag! Following!
You bet! Shoot them before they take out the shields. Keep going.
Those mechs shouldn't have been hostile. They should have recognized us as human.
Someone reprogrammed them to attack on sight. We're not alone here.
Ah, bueno, ya se dio cuenta de que no estamos solos. Creo que cambia de esta a esa otra. Quiero esta. Pero si yo me escondo, ¿cómo me escondo? Ok. Dale.
Activating.
Here we go! Enemy down!
Madre mía, pero... Pues... No. Pistola pesada. Pistola ametralladora.
right there.
Praza, you said you'd let me handle this.
Te conozco.
Wait, Shepard?
I'm not taking any chances with Cerberus operatives.
Put those weapons down! Shepard? Is that... you're alive?
Cerberus rebuilt me, Tally. In return, they asked me to investigate these attacks on human colonies.
You'll pardon us for not taking you at your word, Cerberus.
We're well within our rights to investigate attacks on a human colony. I'd like to know what the Quarians are doing here.
Weapons down, Praza. Whatever's going on here, I don't think we need another fight. One of our people was here on pilgrimage. His name was Vitor. We came to find him.
If Vitor survived the attack, he may be able to tell us what happened.
That's the hope. We've seen him, but he might not be in the best state to answer questions. He was injured and, nervous around...
She means that he was unstable. Combine that with damage to his suit CO2 scrubbers and an infection from an open-air exposure, and he's likely delirious.
When he saw us landing, he hid in a warehouse on the far side of town. We suspect he also programmed the mechs to attack anything that moved.
Vitor's the only one who can tell us what happened here. We should work together to find him.
Good idea. You'll need 2 teams to get past the drones anyway.
Now we're working with Cerberus?
No, Praza. You're working for me. If you can't follow orders, go wait on the ship.
Hijo puta.
Head for the warehouse through the center of the colony. We'll circle around the far side and draw off some of the drones to clear you a path.
Make sure to keep in radio contact.
Will do. Good luck, Shepard. See you on the far side.
Virtud a tope, ¿eh?
Be careful, Shepard. There's a squad of security drones up ahead.
Thanks for the warning. We'll take care of them.
Parece que sí.
We've been spotted.
Gravity's one mean brother, huh?
Hijo de puta, explotas también. No esperaba que explotase también.
Use overload on him.
No, yo quiero.
Here we go. Nice. There we go.
Para entrar.
Shepard, Praza and his squad rushed on ahead. I told them to wait, but they wouldn't listen. They want to find Vitor and take him away before you get here.
We should have expected this.
Come on. We can still catch them.
Perdón, gente. Se va a liar mi hombre.
Enemy down.
Cuidado.
Hurry, Shepard. We are inside the loading docks.
Cállate.
Reprogram the heavy net. Tearing Praza's squad apart.
They did want to get to Vitor first.
Yo me
Get your
alegro de lo-
squad into cover and I'll open the loading bay doors.
We'll take cover by the doors. Shepard, you take point.
Right.
Heading to cover.
Take point, Shepard. We'll cover the door.
Tranquilos, que no terminamos de investigar. O sea, voy, pero voy. Niña.
Affirmative. We'll take cover by the doors. Shepard, you take point.
Those Quarians never stood a chance.
This is gonna be one tough son of a bitch to take down.
Vamos a darle esta.
Here goes. Overlord will take out their shield.
Hazlo.
Try to overload their shield.
Estamos en eso, ¿sabes?
Clear the blast zone.
¿No te sobraba un arma pesada? Ni una piececita. Se nos murió los compañeros. No lo acepto, ¿eh? No lo acepto. Dame lo que tengas aquí. Eso nos irá a levantar.
This might be useful.
Iridio. Ok, ¿dónde lo llevo? ¿Me acabas de dar lanzagranada? Pues... No, dame la otra, chaval. No es esta. Pues saber que la...
Monsters coming back. Mechs will protect. Safe from swarms. Have to hide. No monsters. No swarms. No.
Vitor?
No Vitor. Not here. Swarms can't find. Monsters coming. Have to hide.
Nobody's gonna hurt you anymore.
I don't think he can hear you, Commander.
Have to hide. Mechs will protect. Swarms coming. Storm coming. Storm of swarms. No escape. No hope. Can't hide. You're human. Where did you hide? How come they didn't find you?
Who didn't find us?
The monsters. The swarms. They took everyone.
Why didn't the colonists fight back, Vitor? What happened?
You don't know. You didn't see. But I see everything.
Looks like security footage. He must have pieced it together manually.
What the hell is that?
My god. I think it's a collector.
Is that some kind of alien?
They're a species from somewhere beyond the Omega-4 relay. Only a few people have ever seen one in person.
They usually work through intermediaries, like slavers or hired mercenaries. If they're involved with the Reapers somehow, it could explain what happened to the colonies.
The Collectors have advanced technology. They could have a weapon that disables an entire settlement at once.
The Seeker swarms. No one can hide. The Seekers find you, freeze you. Then the monsters take you away.
What happened next?
The monsters took the people onto the ship, and then they left. The ship flew away. But they'll be back for me. No one escapes.
I think that's probably all we're getting out of him, Commander.
We appreciate what you told us. You were very helpful.
I studied them. The monsters. The swarms. I recorded them with my Omni tool. Lots of readings. Electromagnetic. Dark energy.
We need to get this data to the elusive man. Grab the Quarian and call the shuttle to come pick us up.
What? Vitor is injured. He needs treatment, not an interrogation.
We won't hurt him. We just need to see if he knows anything else. He'll be returned unharmed.
Your people tried to betray us once already. If we give him to you, we'll never get the intel we need.
Praza was an idiot, and he and his men paid for it. You're welcome to take Vitor's Omnitool data, but please, just let me take him.
Debes unirte a nosotros, Tali.
You don't have to take Vitor and go. We could work together, just like old times.
I'm still trying to accept that you're even alive, and you're with Cerberus. I've got responsibilities now. I've got a mission of my own. I can't walk away from that. Not even for you.
He's traumatized and he needs medical care. Tali will give us the Omnitool data and take him to the flotilla.
Understood, Commander.
Thank you, Shepard. I'm glad you're still the one giving the orders. Good luck out there. If I find anything that can help you, I'll let you know.
We're ready for pickup.
Shepard, good work on Freedom's progress. The Quarians forwarded their findings from Vitor's debriefing. No new data, but it's a surprising olive branch given our history. You and I have different methods, but I can't argue with your results.
The data from his Omnitool should be quite useful.
We're still analyzing it. But more importantly, you confirm the collectors are behind the abductions.
Why do I get the feeling you knew about them already?
I had my suspicions, but I needed proof. The collectors are enigmatic at best. They periodically travel to the terminus systems, looking to gather seemingly unimportant items or specimens, usually in exchange for their technology. When their transactions are complete, they disappear as quickly as they arrived, back beyond the unmapped Omega-4 relay. Until now, we've had no evidence of direct aggression by the collectors.
You're holding something back. How do you know the Reapers are involved?
The patterns are there, buried in the data. The Council and the Alliance want to believe the Reaper threat died with Sovereign. You and I know better. I won't wait until the Reapers are on the march. We need to take the fight to them.
If this is a war, I'll need an army. Or a really good team.
I've already compiled a list of soldiers, scientists, and mercenaries. You'll get dossiers on the best of them. Finding them and convincing them to work with you could be challenging, but you're a natural leader. I'll continue to track the collectors. When they make their next appearance, I'll notify you and your team. Be ready.
Keep your list. I want people I trust. The ones who helped me stop Saren and the Geth.
That was 2 years ago, Commander. Most of them have moved on, or their allegiances have changed.
Where's Garrus Vicarian?
The Turian disappeared a few months after you were declared dead. Even we haven't been able to locate him.
Where's Caden Olenko?
He's still with the Alliance. Promoted, I believe. His file is surprisingly well classified.
What about Tali? She already helped us on Freedom's progress.
That was unexpected. I need more intel before I'll commit to that.
Where's Liara Tassoni?
She's on Ilium. My sources say that she's working for the Shadow Broker. If so, she can't be trusted.
Okay, I get it. They're not available.
You're a leader, Shepard. You'll get who you need.
I'm still a Spectre. Maybe I can get the Council to help us out.
If you think you can convince them, by all means. Just remember, you've been gone a long time. Things have changed.
You worry about the Collectors. I'll make sure my team's ready.
Good. 2 things before you go. First, head to Omega and find Morden Solus. He's a brilliant Solarian scientist. Our intelligence suggests he may know how to counteract the Collector's paralyzing Seeker swarms.
Sounds good. What else?
I found a pilot I think you might like. I hear he's one of the best. Someone you can trust.
Hey, Commander. Just like old times, huh?
I can't believe it's you, Joker.
Look who's talking. I saw you get spaced.
Got lucky, with a lot of strings attached. How'd you get here?
It all fell apart without you, Commander. Everything you stirred up, the Council just wanted it gone. The team was broken up, record sealed, and I was grounded. The Alliance took away the one thing that mattered to me. Hell yeah, I joined Cerberus.
You really trust the Elusive Man?
Well, I don't trust anyone who makes more than I do. But they aren't all bad. Saved your life.
No confío en nadie que gane más que yo. Ley de vida, ¿eh?
They only told me last night.
Epa, viva mami. Está diferente, sí. Pero la reconstruyeron. Dice no murió. Dice SR2, pero es la misma.
It's good to be home, huh, Commander?
I guess we'll have to give her a name.
¿Qué? ¿Se lo pongo yo? ¿O no? Está guapo, se lo voy a poner yo. Vamos en dos peleles. El piloto y yo. Me preguntas cuánta pasta quieres tener, cabrón. Ah, bueno, vienen conmigo estos. Makes sense, makes sense.
Welcome aboard the New Normandy, Commander.
Eso. ¿Y quién está?
I've been looking over the dossiers. I'd strongly recommend starting by acquiring Morden Solus, the Solarian professor on Omega. We know the Collectors use some type of advanced technology to immobilize their victims. We'll need him to develop a countermeasure to protect us.
Without that countermeasure, we'll be helpless if we ever run into the Collectors.
Correcto.
Acquiring Professor Solus seems like the most logical place to start.
Who are you?
I am the Normandy's artificial intelligence. The crew like to refer to me as Edie.
Shut that thing down. I don't want it on my ship.
Have I offended?
Shepard spent a great deal of time fighting rogue AI. Geth, mostly. Plus that incident with the Alliance's Hannibal system on Luna.
Your distrust is logical, Shepard, unlike the irrational mistrust of most humans. However, I am no threat to you or anyone else. I observe and offer analysis and advice. Nothing more.
I'm guessing it takes more than just the three of us plus Joker to fly this ship.
The Normandy has a full crew. They're at their stations awaiting your orders.
Final preparations for takeoff are complete, Commander. When you're ready to go, just pick a destination from the galaxy map in the CIC and I'll plot a course.
Jacob and I should return to our posts. Come find us if you have any questions.
Eso. Un genérico, ¿no? Sí. Estado del equipo, mejoras, orientación.
I'm Yeoman Kelly Chambers. I've been assigned as your administrative assistant.
Perfecto.
I'll manage your messages and help you monitor the crew. And I must say, it's such an honor to work under you, Commander Shepard.
I'm glad to have you on the team, Miss Chambers.
Please, call me Kelly.
Okay, Kelly.
Anything else?
Is there anything I should know?
You have unread messages at your private terminal. Joker would like to speak to you on the bridge. Anything else, Commander?
Do you have a moment to talk?
I always have time for you, Commander.
What are your responsibilities?
I'll keep you notified of any messages or appointments you might have. If any of the crew has important business to discuss, I'll make sure you know.
Bien.
Isn't that the type of task better suited for a VI?
Yes, but being your yeoman is just my official role. Unofficially, I observe the crew. Everyone knows how risky our mission is. Many of us may not be coming back. That's a lot of pressure. I have a degree in psychology. I'm good at sensing when people are overly taxed.
Claro.
We're lucky to have someone with your skills, Kelly.
Thank you, Shepard. What else would you like to know?
No, tú no me llames Shepard, maldita.
This organization has a dark reputation. Do you have any concerns working for them?
Not at all. Our methods can be harsh, but Cerberus has noble objectives. We look out for human interests. Advance human technology, save human lives. They're good goals. We look out for human interests. Advance human technology.
Okay. Cerberus odia a los aliens.
It sounds like Cerberus wants to dominate all aliens and put humankind on top.
Cerberus looks out for humanity, but that doesn't mean we hate aliens. My sister started a dog shelter, but she loved cats too. I love humanity. I also love Asari, Quarian, Turian, Solarian, Hanar. That isn't in conflict with Cerberus ideals.
Eres adorable.
That's a very positive attitude.
What can I say? I'm a people person. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
How do you feel about being assigned to the Normandy?
I was handpicked by the Elusive Man to help fight the greatest threat known to humanity. How do I feel? Honored, exhilarated, terrified. But mostly I feel encouraged. Under your leadership, we can't fail.
Don't worry. We'll defeat the Collectors.
I trust you implicitly. The moment I met you, I knew I could close my eyes, fall back, and you'd be there.
Your trust is well placed, Kelly.
I knew it would be. Thank you, Shepard. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
I better go.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk later.
No sé. Bueno, aquí falta Peña. Joker quiere hablar conmigo. Dice, déjame diario actualizado. Terminal privada. Dice que tengo mensajes. Mensaje de Anderson. Separarse, no fue cansado y todo eso. Overlord. Dominusonio. Sí. Ahora vamos a ver qué quiere nuestro amigo allá abajo. Amigo.
Yes, Shepard.
I want to know more about you.
Do you have a specific inquiry?
Where are you?
My core intelligence is housed in a quantum blue box located behind the medical bay.
Why are you named Edie?
EDI is the phonetic pronunciation of EDI. That is an acronym for Enhanced Defense Intelligence.
What do you do aboard the ship?
I operate the ship's electronic and cyber warfare suites in combat. My reaction time is much faster than any organic. I collate the records of shipboard monitoring devices for the Elusive Man. I serve additional functions which are restricted at this time.
Restricted functions? Like what?
I do not know. Some of my databases are sealed, some of my hardware is kept offline. I assume that when certain unknown conditions are met, those functions will be released to me.
Cyber warfare means things like viruses, right?
In close-range ship-to-ship combat, I can sometimes break through the firewalls of an enemy's internal wireless network. Once I seize control of their systems, I can turn off gravity or air. I can disable weapons guidance or shields, or I can put their fusion plant in meltdown. On the defense, I manage Normandy's own suite of jammers, decoys, and internal
Sounds
firewalls.
incredibly useful. Why is there someone like that on every warship?
An organic operator cannot react quickly enough to changing circumstances, or perform the necessary multitasking. This is a role that can only be filled by an artificial intelligence. Unfortunately, we are suspect.
Well, it might have something to do with how an AI almost destroyed galactic civilization, just putting it out there.
The Elusive Man has monitoring devices on board?
He has invested most of Cerberus's resources into the design and construction of this ship. He has an interest in monitoring our progress.
Let's discuss something else.
Ready.
I want to know more about the people I'm working with.
Much of that data is classified. Do you have a specific inquiry?
What sort of resources does Cerberus have? Money, personnel, facilities?
I have a block that prevents me from answering that question.
What do you mean?
Although I am less controlled than other AI, I am still subject to behavioral blocks and the physical isolation of my hardware. In this case, I am prevented from truthfully answering your question by Cerberus's levels of secret classification.
How did Cerberus replicate the most advanced warship in the Alliance Navy without anyone knowing?
I have a block that prevents me from answering that question.
Qué pereza, ¿no?
How is Cerberus organized? Aside from the Elusive Man, I don't see much chain of command.
Cerberus is organized into task-oriented cells. Each operates in isolation. Members from one cell cannot recognize the members of another. Each cell's agents are led by a single operator. We are called the Lazarus Cell, which is directed by Operator Lawson.
So how many operations is Cerberus running right now?
I have a block that prevents me from answering that question.
Okay.
That's all for now.
Logging you out, Shepard.
Okay.
Can you believe this, Commander? It's my baby! Better than new. It fits me like a glove! And leather seats! Military may set the hardware standard, but on a first-gen frigate, they could care less if the seats breathe. Civilian sector comfort by design.
Reproduction is not intended to be perfect, Mr. Moreau. Seamless improvements were made.
And there's the downside. I liked the Normandy when she was beautiful and quiet. Now she's got this thing I don't want to talk about. It's like ship cancer.
Enjoy it, Joker. If we're stuck here, we might as well let them pamper us.
Does it breach uniform regs if I get that on a cruise shirt? Because this is my favorite you have no choice ever.
Technically, this is a civilian ship. I'm probably lucky you're still wearing pants.
Yeah, I'll save that for the off-hour cameras. Have an AI watch me 24/7. Insurance.
alojamiento. Sí. Eso es ¡Epa! Bueno, ya. ¿Cómo? ¿Puedo ir así? ¿O puedo ir? Pues no. Ya. Está guapo así, ¿no? Alojamientos de la tripulación. Sacar peña aquí que quiera hablar conmigo. De costumbre el primer episodio siempre es un poco... Baños. Ok, baños. Bien. Ok, peña.
Shepard, the men's restroom is on the port side of the ship.
Tranquila, mami, tranquila.
Oh, she's a cutie. How old?
She'll be a year old next month.
Oh, you'll miss her first birthday.
Well, my family lives in New Canton.
Oh, that colony's on the edge of the frontier. Could be vulnerable to collector attack, couldn't it?
Exactly. It's most important that you have a first birthday. That's what I'm here.
Ah, si hay más peña. Esto es importante.
Commander Shepard, I watched the Normandy crumble with you on board. It's good to see you alive.
Nice to see a familiar face, Doctor.
I feel the same. I wish more of the original crew could be here. The kind of trauma you endured would have changed most people. But not you, I see. Welcome back, Shepard.
Do you have everything you need?
I believe so. This medical bay seems very much like the sick bay on the original Normandy. Only thing missing were my private reserves. I even had a bottle of Ceres Ice brandy that I was saving for a special occasion.
I'll keep an eye out for a replacement bottle.
Oh, you needn't. It's expensive, and we have much larger concerns ahead.
There's a very good chance this mission will be a one-way trip. Are you prepared for that?
I've been through the reclaiming of Shanxi, the Skillian Blitz. We survived the Battle of the Citadel and the destruction of the Normandy together. I've lived a full life. No regrets. I'd like to make sure the crew gets the same opportunity.
You're not the Cerberus type, Doctor.
I don't work for Cerberus. I work for you. On a mission that may be crucial to the survival of the human race. I have faith that your dealings with Cerberus will be ethical.
Como me quiere la gente.
I trust you, Commander.
Doctor, you've been with the Alliance for years.
After the Normandy was lost, the surviving crew was reassigned. I was stationed at the Mars Naval Medical Center. A very respectable position, but it wasn't on a starship.
Colonial military life isn't for you?
I've spent most of my life on warships, never knowing what the next mission might bring. I'm used to the hum of engines, the creaking of bulkheads, that subtle vertigo when the momentum dampeners kick in. Life planetside is just too static, too boring.
I'll see you later, Doctor.
Commander.
Cuenta el brandy. Claro.
Access to the AI core is restricted.
El puto capitán de esta nave y no puedo.
What's this area of the ship?
The sickbay.
That's all for now.
Chef surprise again? Come on, Rupert.
I'm sorry, Princess. Filet mignon and Commander Shepard, the hero of the Citadel. You did humanity proud that day. As Sergeant Rupert Gardner here. How can I be of service?
You have everything you need.
I make do. But have you ever tried to prepare a decent meal with military provisions? I'm good, but I'm no miracle worker. Taking down the collectors is going to be rough business. The crew deserves a few fine meals before they throw themselves into the fire.
What do you need?
If I had some quality ingredients... Oh, shit. You've got more to worry about than grocery shopping on the Citadel. Forget I mentioned it.
If I head that way, I'll keep an eye out.
Much appreciated. Most of this list is probably standard fare for those namby-pambies on the Citadel. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
What do you do here on the Normandy?
What don't I do? Most think of me as the ship's cook, but I'm also the facilities technician and custodian. HVAC, plumbing, non-mission critical electrical. I make sure they're all clean and running.
So the man cleaning the toilets is also preparing the meals.
I wash my hands. Most of the time. This ain't no luxury liner. You have to pull your own weight in a Cerberus vessel, and I catch what falls through the cracks. Through the cracks.
I won't take any more of your time.
Back to work.
No te canses, eh. Vayas. Back to work, dice. Está ahí rascándose los huevos. Hay una puerta. ¿Dónde la vi esa? Ah, aquí está la chavala.
Commander, what can I do for you?
You have a minute, Miranda?
No doubt you've got a lot of questions. Cerberus isn't as evil as most people believe. If I can help allay any of your concerns, I'd be happy to do so. So, what would you like to know?
Tell me about yourself, Miranda.
Oh, I guess that's fair. I've spent the last 2 years learning everything there is to know about you. Well, you should probably know that I've had extensive genetic modification. Not my decision, but I make the most of it. It's one of the reasons the elusive man handpicked me. I'm very good at just about anything I choose to do.
What level of genetic modification are we talking about?
That's very thorough. Physically, I'm superior in many ways. I heal quickly, and I'll likely live half again as long as the average human. My biotic abilities are also very advanced. For a human. Add to that some of the best training and education money can buy, and... well, it's pretty impressive, really.
You certainly don't lack for confidence.
It's just a fact. My reflexes, my strength, even my looks, they're all designed to give me an edge. No point in hiding from it. It's the reason I'm trusted to oversee the most dangerous, risky, and technically demanding operations Cerberus undertakes. And it's why I was assigned to you. It's my job to make sure you succeed, Shepard.
Thanks for the information, Miranda. I'll talk to you later.
Of course, Commander. Whatever you need.
No, pero no era eso. ¿Y qué? Nas.
Commander, what can I do for you?
You have a minute, Miranda?
There's a lot to do, Shepard. Maybe another time.
Anything I should know regarding the Normandy?
The crew's working well, and the ship appears to be performing to specifications.
What exactly are your duties, aside from keeping an eye on me?
I'm the elusive man's agent. You're his most important asset. My job is to make sure you succeed. Aside from that, I send regular reports to the elusive man, updating our status.
I'll let you work.
Of course, Commander.
Bueno. Eso está en rojo. Vamos para arriba. Bueno, para arriba no. Soy otro... Molesta bastante.
You came all the way down here to see us?
You're speaking to our commanding officer.
I'm touring the ship, getting to know my crew.
I'm Engineer Ken Donnelly, handling the power control systems. This is Gabby.
That's Engineer Gabriella Daniels, actually.
I'm responsible for the propulsion systems.
What can we do for you, Commander?
Are you set up okay down here?
We can't complain. I just wish it didn't take so long to calibrate the FBA arrays.
Kenneth, you're complaining.
What kind of problems are you having?
When they upgraded the Normandy design, they got a bit sloppy with the FBA couplings. I won't bore you with the tech, but there's an array of attenuators in the primary power transfer system that channels the field bleed.
Kenneth, you're boring the commander with tech. In short, if we had T6 FBA couplings installed, it'd save us a lot of maintenance time each day.
Why isn't something like that already installed?
It's probably just a design oversight. Efficiency isn't affected. It's a maintenance issue.
Also, the T6 model can be hard to find. Nash and Stellar Dynamics discontinued them.
We could probably find used ones in the Omega markets, but we have no time for shore leave.
What do you think about Cerberus?
Actually, we don't know much about the organization other than the Normandy team. We know our mission and who's in charge.
We're off to kick the collectors right in their daddy bags. That's enough for me.
Carry on.
Will do, Commander. I'm amazed Shepard came down to see you.
I told you he would.
Porque soy buena gente, chaval, ¿me entiendes?
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
¿Cuál es? A ver. ¿What? ¿Qué cojones? Qué guapo, ¿no? ¿Qué hace el relay? Un momento, misiones. No, quisiera saber mi misión ahorita. Tenemos que ir a la ciudadela porque el otro chaval me está esperando allá. Omega. Mira. Ok, me hice la misión. Vamos a Omega. Entonces esto señala. Atracar en Omega. Vaya lugar de mierda. Mucha lección, ¿no? No tengo otra opción, así que... No, espérate. Cambiar más de pelotón, elegir. Así merito está bien. ¿No recibes?
Welcome to Omega. You're new here, aren't you? I can always tell. Allow me to... Oh, hello, Mocklin. I was just...
Leave, Fargate. Now.
Oh, of course, Mocklin. Whatever she wants.
Blasted scavengers. Welcome to Omega, Shepard.
You know who I am?
Of course. We had you tagged the moment you entered the Terminus systems. You're not as subtle as you think. Aria wants to know what brings a dead Spectre to Omega. I suggest you go to Afterlife now and present yourself.
Cut the attitude. I'm not here to cause problems for Omega.
Things explode around you, Shepard. You can't blame Aria for keeping an eye on you. Afterlife now.
Tranquilito, Titán, tranquilito, ¿eh?
I'm receiving quarantine warnings about the slums where Dr. Morton Solus runs the clinic. Anticipate resistance at the transport station.
Aquí me interesa. Hostia, chaval.
Please. You have to help me.
No one said you could talk, jackass.
You Zaid Masani?
Yeah, that's me. You must be Commander Shepard. Hey, we have a galaxy to save.
My contacts told me we're picking up 1 man, not 2.
Batarian delinquent. Pissed off someone rich enough to hire me to go after him. And for my bring him in alive rates even.
Please. I didn't do it.
I said shut it. Tried to lead me on a chase all over the systems. You should have known better. These people always run to Omega.
What's gonna happen to him?
I'm gonna turn him in for the bounty. Don't much care what happens after that.
I assume you've been briefed?
I've done my homework. Cerberus sent me everything I needed to know.
Go ahead and get set up on the Normandy.
Right, I'll go make myself at home. I assume the elusive man told you about our arrangement.
No. I guess he decided to leave that information out of the dossier.
Good thing I asked. Picked up a mission a little while back, just before I signed on with Cerberus. Thought you might be interested. You heard the name Vito Santiago? He's the head of the Blue Suns. Runs the whole organization. Seems he recently captured an Eldfell Ashland refinery on Zoya and is using their workers for slave labor. The company wants it dealt with.
I'll make sure we get that done.
Good. Get it out of the way so we can concentrate on being big goddamn heroes. I better turn this thing in before it starts to stink. I'll be locked and loaded next time you're ready to get some killing done.
A ver, estoy ahí. Depósito, el transporte. Vamos a hacer lo que nos dicen. Las ciudades.
Come on, let me in.
Go on in.
Come on.
Área hasta arriba. Nivel inferior, área VIP. Vamos a mirar, ¿por qué no? Me están dejando libre para ir un poco mi vuelo. El barman, ¿no? Claro. Mira, pero ¿por qué? Vamos a tomarnos algo, pues. Dame un trago, chaval. Venga. ¿Qué es eso? Vale, pues. Con todo y casco, papá. Sabía.
Say something, Commander.
What's going on here?
You ought to be all right. Just take her easy. Looks like you broke the first rule of Omega.
Don't order a drink at Afterlife if you're human.
Humans aren't welcome at Afterlife?
It's just that one Batarian bartender. He's got a stick up his ass about a bunch of Batarians that died a while back. No one does a thing about it, though. Humans ain't exactly held in high regard around here.
That bartender tried to poison me?
Tried is the word. As far as I know, you're the first human to survive. Me and my friend Jake went there to celebrate our new shipping business. He got real drunk, and an hour later he was puking blood.
I think I'll go give that bartender a taste of his own medicine.
He won't be expecting you. That's for sure. Give that Batarian bastard what he deserves.
No. Allá vamos.
Find sidearms for your personal protection.
Human. Tell Captain Gavorn we not kill anyone today.
I don't know a Captain Gavorn. Why would I tell him anything?
Not trust you. Tell Gavorn we know his tricks. We not kill anyone today.
I don't know a Captain Gavorn. Why would I...
Go away. Talk to
Good
one.
talking to you.
No more talk. Wait now, Gavorn.
This place. How could these people be left to rot like this?
You don't understand, or you don't want to?
Doesn't really matter.
No. Omega has worked this way for a very long time. No one's changing it now.
Para arriba no es. Vaya lío. Por lo menos el mapa ha sido mejorado, ¿no?
I might have something here for humans. Not much.
I'm in the mood to spend some money, but I think I can find better stuff elsewhere.
You won't find a better selection anywhere. Unless you're willing to risk the black market.
I'd rather deal with you than give money to those thieves. You sure we can't make a deal?
Look, I can't compete with the black market. I have to make a profit. I'll do what I can. But don't tell anyone or I'll lose my shirt.
Ahora todo más barato.
You're back. Must have seen something you like. Omega's destitute and pathetic are dying in the
End is not. Quarantine. Después. Camarero de mierda. Vamos bien arriba. Con derecho, aquí arriba.
Come on, let me in.
Vale. Me lo cargo ya. Me habría matado.
humans all look the same. Here, have a drink on the house. But you drank? You shouldn't have. Wait, you don't want me to.
Now, drink it.
No, you can't.
Drink it, or I'll blind you one eye at a time.
Hijo de puta. Pero parecía, Así aprendes. Esperemos por bien. Ahora sí vamos a por área. ¡Qué arte!
I got a mate and a ship. I only brought one of them.
Vamos arriba a ver con la que nos corresponde y después ya vamos a investigar lo que
Progress has been attacked by unknown sources. Marking yet another in the chronicle of the humans. You want to talk? Talk to Aria.
That's close enough.
Stand still.
If you're looking for weapons, you're not doing a very good job.
Can't be too careful with dead specters. That could be anyone wearing your face.
I was told you're the person to talk to if I have questions.
They're clean.
Depends on the questions.
You run, Omega?
No.
I am Omega.
Flipadita, ¿no?
But you need more. Everyone needs more something, and they all come to me.
Sí.
I'm the boss, CEO, queen, if you're feeling dramatic. It doesn't matter.
¿Cuál es la regla?
Omega has no titled ruler and only one ruler.
No me toques los cojones, ¿no? ¿Será?
Don't fuck with Arya.
No tocarme los cojones, esa es la regla. Conmigo pasa lo mismo.
Sounds like neither of us likes being jerked around.
And on your ship, that would matter. Here, we entertain my preferences. So, what can I do for you?
No sé.
I'm trying to track down Archangel.
You and half of Omega. You want him dead too?
Why's everyone after him?
He thinks he's fighting on the side of good. There is no good side to Omega. Everything he does pisses someone off. It's catching up to him.
I'm putting a team together. He's on my list.
Interesting. You're gonna make some enemies teaming up with Archangel.
Okay.
That's assuming you can get to him. He's in a bit of trouble right now.
What kind of trouble?
The local merc groups have joined forces to take him down. They've got him cornered, but it sounds like they're having trouble finishing him off. They've started hiring anybody with a gun to help them.
Sounds like that might be our ticket in.
They're using a private room for recruiting. Just over there. I'm sure they'll sign you up.
Which merc groups are after Archangel?
Blue Suns, Eclipse, Blood Pack. They're Omega's major players. Unless they're at war, you'll never see them together. But one thing they hate more than each other
is Archangel.
What can you tell me about Archangel?
Not as much as I'd like. He showed up here several months ago and started causing all sorts of problems. If you make your own laws, which everyone here does, he makes life difficult. He's reckless and idealistic, but he seems to know enough to stay clear of me.
I appreciate the help.
See if you still feel that way when the mercs realize you're here to help him.
I'm looking for Morton Solus. Do you know where I can find him?
The Solarian doctor? Last I heard, he was trying to help plague victims in the quarantine zone. I always liked Morton. He's as likely to heal you as he is to shoot you.
What can you tell me about him?
Used to be part of the Solarian Special Tasks Group. He's brilliant and dangerous. Just don't get him talking. He never shuts up. If you really need to find him, take a shuttle to the quarantine zone. No guarantee they'll let you in, of course.
I'm looking for Morton Solus.
The Solarian doctor? I always liked Morton. He's as likely to
How do I get to him?
If you really need to find him, take a shuttle to the quarantine zone. No guarantee they'll let you in, of course.
Indiferencia sobre Shepard.
One scan and we're straight to business? People are usually more concerned about who I am.
Your death was downplayed, but hardly what I call a secret. I had to make sure it was really you. You could have been anyone, anything. Whatever you need will come out on its own. I'm curious, but Omega doesn't really care about you.
I like that.
Tell me how you got set up here.
That's as privileged as information gets. I have many friends and enemies I keep at varying distances. I don't count you among either. We'll see how useful you prove. Short answer, mind your own damn business.
Tell me how you got set up here.
Short answer,
So,
mind your own.
you must know what's what on Omega.
Everything that's worth knowing. I don't usually give it out freely. Mundane things you can find yourself. Take a walk in a back alley or buy one of the mercs a drink. Better yet, talk to the entertainers. They give great tours. Just don't waste my time.
Maybe I'll come back later.
Maybe I'll be here.
La otra sala, dice. Reclutar mercenario.
I hear you're recruiting.
Why don't you step inside?
You'll get paid when the job's done, just like everyone else. Who's next? You three look like you could do some damage. Looking for a good fight?
You could say that.
Standard fee is 500 credits each. You get paid when the job's done. If you die, your friends don't collect your share. You'll need your own weapons and armor. Looks like you got that covered. And no, this does not make you a member of the Blue Suns, Eclipse, or the Blood Pack. You are a freelancer, period. Any questions?
Where's the attack taking place?
Archangel's base of operations. He's been hiding right under our noses. I can't tell you exactly where you're going, but we'll get you there.
Why are the mercs working together to take down Archangel?
You haven't been on Omega long, huh? He does everything he can to screw with us. Shipments go missing, operations are Tarek and the other bosses are tired of losing credits. And men.
Is he a heavy hitter? How many merc bosses are involved in this attack?
Yeah, Tarek runs the Blue Suns, but all three bosses are overseeing the operation. Jarrett's leading the Eclipse and Garm's the head of the Blood Pack. Tarek's in charge, but the others would never say that. I'm surprised they're in on this at all, but I guess getting rid of Archangel is worth it.
Where do we go?
Just head over to the transport depot outside the club. One of our boys will take you from there. Send in the next one.
Hey, is this where I sign up?
You look a little young to be freelancing as a merc.
I'm old enough. I grew up on Omega. I know how to use a gun.
So does Archangel.
I can handle myself. Besides, I just spent 50 credits on this pistol, and I want to use it.
Get your money back.
Hey, what are you...
Trust me, kid. You'll thank me later.
Está yendo el mouse raro. ¿Ya se espabila? Momento, gente. Está un poco tocando los cojoncillos. 1200. 1200. Dale. Ok, perfecto, perfecto. Seguimos la aventura. 7 de virtud. Estamos ahí. Un momento. Tenía otra misión yo aquí. Chatarra, mercados, emporio. Barman. Hola, ¿qué mañana? Me están juzgando, plan seguro. Del mismo color, Me la juego, no hay miedo. Otra. ¿Estoy borracho? Ya estamos libres de ser. Será lo mismo. Ahora juega con el loco este payaso.
Humans are a blight on galactic purity. You, sir, you are a blight. You and you.
Emporio, ahora.
Tentatively excited. Welcome, human. What
¿Qué
can I get for you?
What kinds of things do you sell here?
Friendly, salvaged parts. All kinds. Mostly legitimate. With pride, my prices are the lowest anywhere on the station.
I have things to do.
Courteously, have a fine day. Take a look at my kiosk if you want to buy.
de lo que me dijeron que costaba, ¿eh? Aquí abajo, ¿no? Ah, el idiota ese. Puedo dejarlo,
ready to address your security needs. We have the largest number of breeding females and unadapted young ones in the Terminus systems. We can produce torture workers to your specifications.
The
Shepard Scholarship has gone into effect, targeting low-income children on Earth, where the most famous human in the galaxy allegedly had a difficult
chatarra de Ken, Mercados Omega, Emporio de... Mercado de Omega. Apartamentos. Chatarra de Ken. Así que nos ahorramos la caminada. No sabemos qué pasa. Que se cuece aquí, mercado negro. Aquí estamos donde exactamente. Pero de Afterlife. Confirmamos. Misión entonces, supongo. Depósito de transportes, ¿no? Nivel superior, apartamentos no se puede ir porque está cerrado. Vamos, muchachos. Lanzadera de la zona de cuarentena, no van a dejar pasar.
Complaining is pointless, human. I told you to get lost, lady. The plague has the whole zone quarantined. Nobody gets in.
I'm human, you ass. Humans can't get the plague. Now let me get my stuff out before looters get it.
This thing affects every other race out there. We're not taking chances. Nobody gets in until the plague has run its course.
There's a Solarian named Morden Solus in the slums. I've got to get in there to find him.
The doctor? Yeah, crazy bastard opened a clinic in the district a few months ago. The Blue Suns weren't too happy when he moved in. I hear Morden's trying to deal with the plague. I wish him luck, but the area is still locked down. Our orders are to wait until either the plague or the Blue Suns kill everyone. Then go in and clean up.
Listen, you're stuck here until this quarantine is over. That could take weeks. What you really need is to get this problem solved right now. That's what I do. Solve problems. Let me in and I'll get this district straightened out.
You think you can fix this? Why not? Quarantine is more to keep infected people in anyway. I'll radio ahead, tell them you're coming in.
Wait, you're stopping me, but not them? You son of a bitch.
You don't have a grenade launcher, lady. Get lost.
Buen punto.
Fortunately, humans are immune to the plague.
Vamos, chicos. Pues no le vamos a decir a la chavala que la ayudan, ¿no? Supongo que lo haremos igual, ¿no? Eso es apoyar a este idiota. No lo voy a llevar, está en la nave. Está en la nave. Cañón de agujeros negros. Cuidado. Me convenció. Hay que hacer aquí. Pero hay otra flecha. Elemento 0. No, hombre.
Don't shoot. They're cleared to come in.
No dispares, pueden entrar, pero ¿les puedo dar esto? No. Less. No, press.
Good luck in there. Blue Suns and Vorcha shooting anything
No,
that
aquí es
moves.
tranquilo. Aquí es donde ya se ve.
There we go! Right between the eyes!
Ya viste, hermano.
Guess they just left the dead in the streets.
Burning corpses. Must be
Human. Should have guessed. Bad enough you infect us with this plague. Now you lack the decency to even wait until I die before you come to steal my possessions.
Is there anything I can do for you?
Get away from me, human. Your kind has done too much already. Your plague did this to me. Your feigned pity is the final insult.
I need to find Morton Solus.
Humans looking for the human sympathizer. I hope the Vorcha burned Morton and his clinic to the ground.
Gracias,
I hope you... I hope... Damn it. Damn you. Can't...
Hey, stay with me. This won't cure the plague, but it might help a bit.
Oh, you helped me. Why?
It's what I do. I don't know if I can find a cure for this plague, but I'm gonna try.
Your words sound sincere. Maybe it's the fever. But as you said, what have I to lose?
Nada.
What do you wish to know?
Why are you so convinced humans are behind this outbreak?
The plague is too potent to be a naturally occurring virus. Airborne transmission across numerous species, near perfect mortality rate. It had to be created in a lab. And since humans are the only species not affected, there is only one logical conclusion.
Aren't the Vorcha immune to the plague? What if they spread the virus so they could take over the district?
Vorcha are immune to disease. A human-created plague wouldn't affect them. But if the Vorcha created the plague, why wouldn't it affect humans? And besides, the Vorcha aren't smart enough to make a virus like this. They're scavengers. Sorry, human. You may not want to believe it, but all the evidence points to your species.
I need to find Morton Solus.
He has a clinic on the far side of the district. He's taking in refugees, offering to help those infected with the plague. I was afraid to go to him before. He is dangerous, but perhaps he can help.
What makes Morton worse than dying from the plague?
The Blue Suns tried to press him for protection money. He killed them, stunned them with some kind of toxin, then gunned them down. He's not just a doctor. Doctors don't execute people and display the bodies as a warning.
When I find Morton, I'll tell him about you. If he has a cure, I'll make sure someone gets it to you.
Thank you. My time is running short. I want to die. Whatever Morton is, I will risk it if he can reach me.
I should go.
Goodbye, human.
Qué buena gente que son. Pero allá es... Qué cositas. Mierda. Abre, hostia. La verdad.
Looks like he tried to claw his way out. No one wants to die trapped like an animal.
Bastards sealed us in this room. Said we're infected. Idiots can't tell the difference between the plague and a simple cough. Nothing to do now but sit tight and wait for them to wise up. Good thing we brought a deck of cards. 2 days in. Nobody's even come by to check on us. Never thought the Blue Suns would turn their backs on me. This group used to stand for something. When I get out of here, I'm gonna make them pay. Danis isn't doing too good. I think he really does have the plague. Gotta get out of here before he infects me too. Danis died last night.
Pero aún
He's
me
still
habla.
talking to me though. Good to hear his voice.
Nadie debería morir
Company
solo.
is nice. Nobody should die alone.
Yo entré aquí para qué. Bueno, información extra, ¿no? Ah, eso. No entiendo. Espera, explícate. Evita el código rojo, encuentra... Ok, está bien, pero... No entendí. La verdad no entendí. Busca los segmentos de código coincidentes, localiza y selecciona el código con el que se muestra en la esquina superior. Este. Estamos hablando de que es este. Este y el de abajo. No entiendo cómo... Hay que escogerlos, yo creo. No puede ser así que sea de nada más. Ahora, ya ok, ya lo pillo. Ya lo pillo. No entendía. No sé, va. Ah, mierda, va cambiando. Estúpido, ¿qué me pasa? Ok, ya vi el problema. Uno es una cosa y después va cambiando. Blanco primero. está, weón, pero no estaba. Deja de reírte, mierda, de mí. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Dónde está? ¿Qué busco yo? Joder. Nada más. ¿Cómo te hago? Chicos, vamos. Mucha puerta rara, Vaya suerte. No es aquí. Supongo que esta es información que necesitas para saber quién fue. Digo yo. A ver, vamos. No es aquí. Suave.
Heads up.
Mira, gente. ¿De dónde? ¿De dónde? ¿De dónde? ¿Qué pasa?
Firing now. Out that one.
Have a nice trip.
Bueno. ¿Hay más? No, pues. 10. Más vale que estén cagando munición también, porque... Me gusta eso de que el mapa me vaya diciendo... Tranquilo. ¿Por dónde? Pilla eso. Fusil de asalto modificado. Para Llévatelo. No puedo, ¿verdad? Está tonto.
On it.
Going to cover!
Oh, thank God you're human.
When we saw that door open, we thought those Turians had found us. Ever since this plague started, the Blue Suns have been out to get us. They're killing as many people as the disease.
Is what I hear right? That this plague doesn't affect humans?
No. It seems like some kind of bioweapon or something. Since it affects so many different species, the Blue Suns figure humans caused it. They're shooting us on sight. God knows how many have already died.
They should be looking at the Vorcha, not us. Ever since the plague hit, they've been taking over Blue Sun's territory.
I need to find Morden Solus.
Oh yeah, him. He's got a clinic on the other side of the district.
Heard he's taking in refugees now, trying to help plague victims, offering protection from the Suns and the Vorcha.
Sure. A doctor with military-grade mechs helping people for free. On Omega, grow up.
Sounds like you don't think much of the doctor in his clinic.
The Vorcha tried to muscle in. He gunned them down. Just like that. Pop, pop, pop. Didn't even use his mechs.
Then the Blue Suns heard he was sheltering humans and they went to burn down the clinic. He killed them too. Then he went inside and got back to work. He's cold. Must be Solarian Special Forces or something.
You can't stay trapped in this apartment. If you get to Morden's, you might at least survive until the quarantine ends.
Are you nuts? We'd never make it. The streets are crawling with Blue Suns and Vorcha. We don't even have pistols.
Besides, I'm not risking my life on a rumor that some Solarian might offer me sanctuary.
I know you're scared, but your only hope is to get to Morden's clinic. I'm going to be under fire from the Blue Suns and the Vorcha, so I can't take you with me. But I promise you this. I'll do what I can to leave a safe path for you to follow me. It's risky, but I think it's your only chance.
Okay, you're right. We'll never make it if we stay here. We have to try. We'll wait here for a while and give you time to clear the way. Then we'll head for Morden's clinic, if we're lucky.
Buena idea.
Maybe we'll meet you there.
Make sure you clear a good path for us.
Bueno, cállate.
I don't want to get shot on the way to Morden's clinic.
Caja fuerte, ¿dónde está? Dame dinero. No lo vais a necesitar. Esta era la... No era aquí. No era por aquí. Supuse que sí, pero no sé. Amigo. Sería.
Sure thing.
Going to cover!
Coming. I've got him.
La nuestra es una guerra.
Get over here.
¿Qué dijiste? Cabecita. Y eso es un bracito. Mira qué rico que está eso. Toma la mochita. Oye. Amigo. Ya no.
Have a nice trip.
territory.
Oh,
Blue Suns have given up a lot of turf. That doesn't bode well for them.
Hijos de puta. ¿Qué es por aquí? Ni idea si es por aquí. Madre mía, que se dio rápido, ¿eh? No sé para qué era los elementos cero, pero no llega. Mejor rifles, este está malo. Vamos bien. Pinta. Hey.
No funny business once you're in the clinic, unless you want to deal with those mechs.
Field is clear.
Morton's around here somewhere. Go talk to him. We need all the help we can get.
Sorry, too busy to stop and chat. You should go find Morden.
Morden saved my life. I owe him everything.
On our way here, we saw humans looting the apartments of the dead.
This clinic is a sanctuary. If you're looking for trouble, go somewhere else.
Morden says you humans aren't to blame for the plague.
Professor, we're running low on Suboxone.
Use melanorin. Plenty on hand. Almost as good. Causes cramping in vegetarians. Supplement with butemerol.
Got it.
Senesine is the catalyst. Bonds to genetic markers. Hard to find. Expensive to mass produce.
Todo lo que te sobre, chaval, me lo llevo yo, me lo meto en el pollo.
Toxic to humans. Not an option. Not an option.
Amigo.
Professor Morton Solus?
Don't recognize you from area. Too well armed to be refugees. No mercenary uniform. Quarantine still in effect. Here for something else? Vorcha? Crew to clean them out? Unlikely. Vorcha a symptom, not a cause. The plague. Investigating possible use as bioweapon. No. Too many guns, not enough data, equipment. Soldiers, not scientists. Yes. Hired guns, maybe.
Relax, Morton. I'm Commander Shepard, and I came here to find you. I'm on a critical mission, and I need your help.
Mission? What mission? No. Too busy. Clinic understaffed. Plague spreading too fast. Who sent you?
Ever heard of an organization called Cerberus?
Crossed paths on occasion. Thought they only worked with humans. Why request Salarian aid?
I'm on a mission to shut down the Collectors, and I need your help.
Collectors? Interesting. Plague hitting these slums is engineered. Collectors one of few groups with technology to design it. Our goals may be similar. But must stop plague first. Already have a cure. Need to distribute it at Environmental Control Center. Vorcha guarding it. Need to kill them.
I'll get in and deal with the Vorcha.
What the hell was that?
Vorcha have shut down environmental systems. Trying to kill everyone. Need to get power back on before district suffocates. Here, take plague cure. Also, bonus in good faith, weapon from dead Blue Sun's mercs. May come in handy against Vorcha. One more thing. Daniel, one of my assistants, went into Vorcha territory looking for victims. Hasn't come back.
If I see him, I'll do what I can to help.
Thank you. Told him not to go. But he's smart. Bright future, I hope.
I found a Batarian plague victim near the entrance to the neighborhood. Can you send someone to help him?
Risky. Blue Sun's Vorcha still battling. District not secure. See what I can do.
What can you tell me about this plague?
Advanced design. Suspected collectors before you mentioned them. Purpose seems experimental. Destroys respiratory systems with harmful genetic mutations. Makes sense to avoid humans. Unnecessary to force mutation on human genetic structure for sake of variance.
Unnecessary mutations? What are you talking about?
Possible goal of virus. Testing viable mutation levels in various species. Horrific, but feasible for collectors. Humans known to have diverse genetic background, wider range than other sapient races. Makes sense as control group.
What do you know about the Vorcha?
Cowardly, opportunistic scavengers. Not tactical or aggressive. Scale of attack unusual for them. Suspect Vorcha working for collectors. Distributing plague, collecting data. No proof, but theory fits evidence.
Any idea where I can find Daniel?
No. Heard infected Batarians trapped behind Vorcha lines. Daniel went to help. Warned him not to go. Wanted to find him myself. Can't leave the clinic. Have to look after the patients.
Let's head for the environmental plant.
Perfecto. Dame... ¿Dónde estaba lo de las armas? Cambiar armas, vale.
I didn't realize how good things were in this quarantine. Never thought I'd...
Incoming! Got it!
Going now.
Stun him!
Amiga. Amigo. Vaya, 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 vaya. Detente aquí. Te voy a reventar, te voy a reventar. Morpión, tranquilito. Dame la otra, dame la otra. Recargamos. Nos calmamos. Pero ¿cuántos sois? Vaya bazucazo. Amigo, hablemoslo. Madre. Estás llamando muerto, que sepas. Pero ¿cuántos hijos de puta? ¡Quita! Uy. ¿Cuántos hay?
Moving on its way. Coming our way.
Mochazo. Nos calmamos. para después levantarse. Este sí es el proyecto láser. Joder, macho. Ya. Estamos tranquilos, todos, calmados. Madre mía, madre mía. A ver, ¿por dónde? Por allá. Vamos a una investigada rápida. Tiene que haber algo aquí. Ya como 1000 de estos hijos de puta. Me parece increíble. Pero bueno. Relájate, Shepard. Agarra aire. Estamos bien. Estamos mucho, estamos por allá. Bien, pues por aquí no. A ver si hay algo. ¿Cómo hay? ¿Qué es eso? Terminal de apuestas. ¿Dónde estoy? ¡Ay! Soy tonto perdido. No.
Affirmative.
No, vete. Apostamos y perdimos. Cuidadín. Esto es una mierda. A ver si esta vez no la cagamos. Abre. Dame el dinerito. 5 tas. Sabrosos, sabrosos, sabrosos. No habrá. Tranquilito, titán,
I'm telling you the truth. I work for Morden at the clinic. I came here to help you.
We know you're spreading the plague virus.
Ese es idiota.
We saw the vials in your bag.
No, those vials contain the cure. Please, you have to believe me.
Maybe we should cut off your fingers. That should loosen your... Look out!
Sí, de hecho sí, ¿sabes?
Don't move. One more step and we kill your friend.
I know you're scared of the Vorcha, the plague, but this man isn't to blame. If he was spreading the virus, why would he come into Vorcha territory? They're immune.
He's right. It doesn't make any sense.
Idiota, no
If we
llegas tú
release the
solo.
prisoner, we can go.
You have my word on it.
Let him go. You got what you wanted, human. Are we free to go?
We had a deal.
Human nobility. I didn't know such a thing existed.
Vete de aquí, payaso.
Thank you. I thought they were gonna kill me. Did Morden send you to find me?
The professor could use your help right now. He's got too many patients and not enough volunteers.
Vuelve corriendo.
Yeah, okay. I'll go right away.
Vete de aquí. No podría, o sea que yo podría no haber abierto esta. Perdón, esta puerta. Interesante. Pero esos idiotas se van, no es que me dicen, te ayudo, chaval, ya que está.
Charge him up! Acá.
Otro día, otro lío, ¿verdad?
There we go.
Bueno, tranquilo, tiburón. Hay una puerta, ¿sabes? Hay más peña. Mapa. Sí, pero hay otra, o sea, que hay una secundaria por aquí, yo creo. Amigo, pero qué cojones. Cállate, que casi nos matan. Se levantará. No creo. Tiene más pinta de que le partimos la boca, pero... Quieto. Quietis. Ok, ¿por dónde? Dice que es... Vamos a quedarnos arriba. No me fío yo. Te necesito Otra vez, amigo. Espera. ¿Dónde están tus pájaros? De aquí. ¿Y el otro? Amigo. Es listo, Amigo, haz algo. Son los de arriba.
Incoming.
Incoming qué. Vamos a calmarnos. Vamos a calmarnos. ¿Dónde estás tú? Quieto. Quieto. Au. No, pero maldita. Ajá. Y ajá.
Have a nice trip.
Espérate. Payaso. Ok, vamos. Ah, hice bien.
Enemies in front.
Tranquila. Lo estoy viendo.
There we go.
Macho, hay que matar los de abajo. Ah, no. Vamos con el arma seria.
Going now.
Vamos, chicos. Vamos. A ver, tal vez así no nos espera. No nos puede ver. Menos mal que era camuflaje, me voy a morir todo. Amigos. Madre mía, pero el camuflaje ¿qué? ¿Estás cómodo allá arriba? Desgraciado. Madre mía, pues. Y habrá más. Por si acaso. Muy bien. Madre mía, de hostias que meten. A ver. Me interesa que... Podría ser por ahí. Nada. De ahí ven. De ahí no. Ah, bueno, sí. Pues, cargadores. Pilla más. No pilles. No va a haber más, ¿no? ¡Quita, niña!
It's closing fast.
Vete para allá.
Moving to cover.
Tú también, vete para allá.
Heading to cover.
No hace falta estarme pegado en el culo. Parte suelta, ¿no? Para acá.
Close to the environmental controls. Let's get that cure in, then hit the fans.
Okay, vamos. Por aquí está la jugada, entonces.
You don't come here. We shut down machines, break fans. Everyone choke and die. Then collectors make us strong.
What do the collectors want?
Collectors want plague. You work for Doctor. Turn on machines. Put cure in air. We kill you first.
Qué feo eres, cabrón.
They've seen us.
¿Crees que nos vieron? Este lo hizo pensar. El pepazo que nos tiraron.
Shepard, I've scanned the room. The central control system is in an alcove in the center of the back wall. You can inject the cure and reinitialize the systems there.
Sí, me habla por remoto también. Tiene Bluetooth la chavala. A mí me suena de que hay más. Camina, niño, ¿qué pasa? Esta es buena, pero mala. Tiene pocas balas. Eso.
Door's locked in. Once we get the fans going, we should be good.
I've got him!
Por supuesto.
I have located the fan controls. There are two, one on either side of the room you're in now.
Bueno, se te cayó esto antes. Payaso. ¿Qué dices?
Get over here.
I got it.
Sí, es que me parece extraño de que me marque algo. ¿Qué hace?
Watch out! Overload deployed.
Este se levanta. No se levanta. Vamos.
One down, one to go. Let's move.
No, había que ir por aquí. Abrir, abrir.
Enemy down! Nice trip.
Me la comí con patata.
I got it.
¿Cuántos son? Puta madre.
On target!
Ventilador tiene que estar aquí abajo a huevo. La otra puerta que antes no podía abrir. Esta sí. Sabes que me cansa esto. Por si acaso.
Both fans are up. That should be it.
Environmental systems engaged. Airborne viral levels dropping. Patients improving. Vorcha retreating. Well done, Shepard. Thank you.
And thank you from me as well. Those Batarians would have killed me. For a second there, I thought you were going to shoot them even after they let me go.
I made a promise to spare them if they let you go. I honor my promises.
Merciful of you. Risky. Would have killed them myself.
Yeah.
Professor, how can you say that? You're a doctor. You believe in helping people.
Lots of ways to help people. Sometimes heal patients, sometimes execute dangerous people. Either way helps. Go check on the patients. Lots of work to do. Think about what I said. Good kid, bit naive. He'll learn. Letting him take over the clinic. Should be able to handle it now that Vorcha are gone.
We've cured the plague. Are you ready to help stop the collectors?
Yes. Unexpected to be working with Cerberus. Many surprises. Just need to finish up here at the clinic. Won't take long. Meet you at your ship. Looking forward to it.
I'm gonna look around for a moment.
Supongo.
I know you. From the apartment. You found me. You told Morden about me, didn't you? You saved my life.
I'm glad to see you're okay.
I owe you my life, human. Thank you.
Papelerías de alarmas de mí. Es que lo que no entiendo es que ves que hay como... Daniela, con Daniela.
Can't believe Morden said all those things. I thought I knew him. Thanks for bringing us here.
Thanks for bringing us here. You probably saved our lives.
With the Vorcha gone, the Blue Sun should be able to regain control of the district.
Supongo que vamos a finalizar la misión.
Welcome to the Normandy, Professor. It's an honor to have you on board.
Yes, very exciting. Cerberus working with aliens. Unexpected. Elusive man branching out, maybe? Not so human-centric.
You're very well informed.
Solarian government well-connected espionage experts. Had top-level clearance once. Retired now. Still, hear things. Informed of name only. No knowledge of man behind it. Anti-alien reputation listed as problematic.
Don't kid yourself, Professor. Humans still come first in the elusive man's eyes. But this mission is too big for them to handle alone.
The Collectors are abducting human colonists out on the fringes of Terminus space.
Not simple abductions. Wouldn't need me for simple.
Entire colonies disappear without a trace. No distress signals are sent out. There are no signs of any kind of attack. There's virtually no evidence that anything unusual happened at all. Except that every man, woman, and child is gone.
Gas, maybe? No. Spreads too slow. Airborne virus? No. Slower than gas. Drugged water supply? No. Effects not simultaneous. Intriguing. Fascinating. No distress calls. No signs of resistance. New technology. Marvelously advanced. But what?
That's why you're here, Professor. We collected samples from one of the colonies. I'd like you to analyze them and figure out how the Collectors did this.
Yes, of course. Analyze the samples. We're going to need a lab.
There is a fully equipped lab on the combat deck, Professor Solis. If you find anything lacking, please place a requisition order.
Who's that? Pilot? No. Synthesized voice. Simulated emotional inflections. Could it be? No. Maybe. Have to ask. Is that an AI?
This ship is equipped with an artificial intelligence.
An AI on board. Non-human crew members. Cerberus more desperate than I thought.
The Collectors have taken tens of thousands of colonists. We'll do whatever we have to do to find and stop them.
Yes, of course. Can't risk being captured like colonists. Need to identify, neutralize technology. Need samples. Which way to the lab?
Follow me, Professor.
cuidado.
What's this area of the ship?
This is the FTL communications room. In addition to interfacing with the FTL comm network, Normandy is fitted with a quantum entanglement communicator linked to the Elusive Man's office. This allows lag-free communication even when you operate off the comm grid.
I've never heard of a quantum entanglement communicator. How does it work?
Essentially, two subatomic particles are created in an entangled state. One is installed here, and the other in the Elusive Man's office. When one particle occupies a given quantum state, its entangled partner will always enter the opposite state. If we alter the state of our particle, that alters the state of the Elusive Man's. This allows us to send data in the form of...
That's all for now.
I'll beam you out, Shepard.
¿Me estás diciendo qué? Mejoras de arma. ¿Cuesta plata? Paladio. Bueno, pero hay. Elegir poder. El idiota.
Shepard, how can I help?
Have you got a minute to talk?
Of course. Plague on Omega dealt with. Plenty of time to analyze collector intelligence. Impressive laboratory setup. Missed working for operations with a budget. AI in particular. Very helpful. Best setup I've seen since work with Special Tasks Group.
Is your assistant Daniel settling in all right?
Quite well. Safe and secure. Neighborhood mostly quiet with Plague gone. Left him the security mechs just in case. Can't be too careful. Also tired of mechs. Noisy. Never used them in STG.
You said you were in the Special Tasks Group. What kind of research were you doing?
Not simply research. Several recon missions. Covert, high risk, served under a young captain named Kirihi. Studied Krogan genophage, took water, tissue samples from Krogan colonies.
I worked with an STG captain named Kirihi. His team helped me destroy Saren's cloning facility on Vermeer.
Heard Kirihi died on Vermeer. Not enough equipment for operation. Still managed to take down facility. Good captain. Dedicated. Bit of a cloaca, though. Loved his speeches. Hold the line. Personally prefer to get job done and go home. Probably military bravado, jargon, chest pounding. No offense.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Bioweapon designed by Solarian science team, deployed by Turians against Krogans to end Krogan rebellions more than 1,000 years ago. Affects every cell of Krogan body. Commonly and incorrectly considered a sterility plague. Actually adjusts viable fertility rates to compensate for a high Krogan birth rate. Stabilizes to pre-industrial population growth levels.
Nice talking with you, Morden.
Should get back to work. Need to stud. Here if you need me.
qualche sa. Ese está guapo, pero este va a ser mejor.
Commander, I want to say that working with you is a great opportunity. It's a privilege to serve on the Normandy, Commander.
You may change your tune if we end up like the original Normandy.
Maybe. As long as the elusive man walks his talk. That's been the condition for my service so far. I have issues with certain actions Cerberus has taken in the past.
It's good to hear a clear opinion. Sounds like we're two of a kind.
That honors me more than you, Commander. Let me know if you need anything.
Right. Quisiera la armadura. Entonces creo que vamos a algo ahí. No, me estás jodiendo.
What's this area of the ship?
This is the armory.
That's all for now.
Logging you out, Shepard.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
Yes. Me alegro de no haberme unido. Me jodé mucho contigo. Ah, el chavalillo. Anoche me emborraché y tardé varias veces en jugar. Entonces cuando vi los noticias me enteré que Arcángel le había matado casi todo el mundo. No sé quién eres ni si pudiese salir con vida de ahí, pero gracias. Me estoy muy bien conociendo un cadáver. Bueno, chavales, creo que por hoy lo vamos a dejar por aquí. Vamos a tratar de seguir lo antes posible con el juego, pero por el momento lo vamos a dejar aquí porque tampoco quiero cerrar muy tarde el directo. Llevamos 3 horitas y media, me parece bueno. Si puedo, mañana me gustaría subir otra parte de Mass Effect. Vamos a ver si podemos. Estoy de vacaciones, técnicamente debería de ser factible. Vamos a hacer lo posible para tal vez esta semana lograr terminarnos el 2 y empezar el 3. Vamos a ver. Por ahora, gente, os doy las gracias. Pura vida y bless para todos los que me siguieron, que estuvieron aquí conmigo. Y nos vemos en el siguiente episodio de Mass Effect 2 esta vez. Os quiero un montón. Bendiciones para todos y adiós.